What is up, my friends? We are finally back for another Reds watch along. It feels like an eternity since we last played, but the team news has just dropped. The big breaking news: it looks like Dominic Szoboszlai does indeed start at right back. No place in the starting 11 for Joe Gomez. We'll go through the exact starting 11 in a moment, but as always, we want to know your thoughts. We'll run through the bench for you as well, and of course, we will soon bring you the Nottingham Forest side. Right, in goal today, ladies and gents, it's Alisson Becker. We believe Dominic Szoboszlai starts at right back. Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk, and Milos Kerkez make up the back four. A midfield of Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, and Florian Wirtz sees us with Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, and Hugo Ekitike up top. So that is the 11 on the bench today for the Reds. Mamardashvili, Gomez, Chiesa, Jones, Robbo, Nioni, Ramsey, Morrison, and Engamoa. So that is your Liverpool bench today. Of course, Chelsea dropped points yesterday. Villa dropped points yesterday, which means, fingers crossed, we can pick up our 3 today and start to finally look like we're going somewhere this season. We'll get you the team news momentarily for Forest. I'll bring that one to you now, actually. Just dropped in here. So for Nottingham Forest today, it's Ortega, Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo, Nico Williams. Then it's Anderson and Sangar anchoring the midfield. Well, Hutchinson, Gibbs, White, Hudson-Odoi, and Igor Jesus. That is the Nottingham Forest side. Remember, of course, they are managed now by Vitor Pereira, so they've had a managerial change since we last played them. In fact, have they only had one since we last played them? I can't even keep up with how many managers have been coming and going this year in the Premier League. So yeah, that is the 11 for both sides. We'll run through the Forest bench for you in a little bit. But yeah, nice. How we feeling? Look, I'll save you all the time. You're frustrated the Gakpo's on the left-hand side and you're annoyed that Dominic Szoboszlai is playing at right back and not in midfield. Am I right? Because I'm the same. I'm the very same, ladies and gentlemen. Did not want to have Dom at right back today. Wanted him in midfield. But look, it is what it is. Not much I can do about it from here. So we'll take you through everything you need to know ahead of the game. We will be here tonight as well with a late night agenda. But yeah, 3 games at 2 o'clock today. We'll take you through the scores of all of them, of course, as and when we are underway. Right. Massive pressure on Arsenal later, said Nomad. Yes, there is. 2-1 victory yesterday for Manchester City over Newcastle. Sees them go to within 2 points of Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, playing the North London derby later on today. So it's getting interesting there at the top of the Premier League. It's, of course, getting interesting at the bottom of the Premier League as well, where Nottingham Forest currently sit just above the relegation zone. So we've got to make sure we try and send them back down there into a relegation battle. Not because we dislike Nottingham Forest too much, it's just because, well, you know, we want to be up there near the top of the table. Kaz, how are we, my friend? Said, hey Craig, hope you and the family are well. Cannot complain, my friend, cannot complain. A little bit of an earlier start for me than I'm normally accustomed to, Kaz, but apart from that, all good, my friend. I've only got 1 coffee into me so far, so we're working on coffee number 2. Just waiting for it to cool down a little bit here on the table before we get stuck into that, and then I'll probably feel a lot more like a human being. Any Forest players that I'm wary of? Yes, of course. I mean, looking at that Forest team, Petter, Gibbs White, obviously we know what he can do. Both the wide positions, Amari Hutchinson and Callum Hudson-Odoi, both tricky wide players. I'm not too concerned about their centre forward, if I'm being honest with you. Don't really rate him as highly as perhaps others would do. And then in midfield, we know Elliot Anderson's a very good footballer, so I want to be keeping a close eye on him as well. Nico Williams and Aina, we know they can get up both flanks quite quickly. Yeah, so it's a strong team. I watched them midweek playing against Fenerbahce and was very impressed with how they looked away over in Turkey. So not expecting it to be an easy one today, but then again, nothing should be easy in the Premier League. We just have to make sure we get the job done. Liz, how are we, my friend? 57 months with us. Wow, 57 months, Liz. Heading towards the 5-year mark now. Happy match day to you and love to you and the family as well, Liz. Thank you so much. So, we happy then or unhappy? And I know people don't want to see Gakpo in the starting 11, but I'm not overly surprised by that. That's, you know, that's the go-to for the manager. I have to say, I'm probably a little bit surprised to see Dominic Szoboszlai at right back, considering the manager had said midweek that Gomez was at least available to play 90 minutes or to start. So a little bit surprised that maybe he didn't follow through with that one. But look, I'm sure he has a game plan up his sleeve, and let's just hope the lads can go there today and get the job done. Hasn't been a happy hunting ground for us in recent years. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get it done today. Craig, how are you feeling about the game today? Slightly confident about getting a win, just not confident as we've not travelled well to Forest in recent seasons. There should be no excuses for it. We've had 8 days to prepare for this game, 8 days to rest up. Nottingham Forest had travel over to Turkey on Thursday for the Europa League, so you would imagine we'd be the fresher of the two sides. But again, like you've said, it hasn't been the happiest of places for us to get results in recent times. So here's hoping we can start putting that right today. Yes, Eddie, can you just do me a favour, mate? Can you not start off on every stream, Eddie? Just every stream and say, no matter what the result, I'm not for changing. Understood, you're not for changing, but it's getting so difficult to come on and have negativity for people before we start the game. We haven't even kicked off yet. I'm not happy with the 11. I'm not getting sucked in either to the Arne Slot revolution until I actually see some revolution. But, we haven't kicked the ball yet, so let's wait and see what happens. And also, I don't think we should ever really close ourselves off from being fully open to things changing. Look, ultimately, Eddie, we're Liverpool fans. We want Liverpool to be successful. And whatever the reason for that, ultimately, if it means Liverpool are being successful, I'm going to be happy about it. This season hasn't been what I would have wanted. This season hasn't been near the levels that we should have been seeing. But, there's still time left for the season to have, for want of a better term, a bit of a happy ending. Leona is currently on the way to a hurling match. Nice. Enjoy. Hope you get the results you're looking for. Craig, love that you've put in your WhatsApp with Jammy Dodgers for Arsenal's title. I'm just going to be there to banter them all the way through, just in case. I always said I'd credit Arsenal fully if they win the Premier League, and I will. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to banter the shit out of them if they don't do it. I try to be fair about it. You win it, I'll give you the credit, but you don't win it, and you're getting the banter. Oh, you're getting the banter. If you don't win it, you're absolutely getting shredded apart at this point. And for what it's worth, we did a poll on the channel last night, and I think it was around 80%, if I'm not mistaken, of people thought that Man City are going to go on to win the Premier League title. Now, I'm not expecting Spurs to do anybody a favour today against Arsenal. I do think Arsenal will get the job done there, but it is really squeaky bum time for them. Manchester City right there on the shoulders now, knowing if they keep winning and beat them at the Etihad, it's their title. So let's wait and see what happens. Do I think City can do it now? Said David Hansen. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I don't want them to particularly do it, but right now, if I was a betting person, I'd probably go with the momentum being behind Manchester City, and we know ourselves from previous experience what Manchester City are capable of when it comes to chasing a team down. We've had lots of pain over the years because of them. I was looking actually at the league table. If Arsenal, let's say, lose to Spurs, that's it. They can't even have a 90-point season, which, would mean that Arteta has never had a 90-point season in that Arsenal team, despite the riches that he's been given. And I don't expect him to have a 90-point season this season, even if he does beat Spurs. So, yeah, they're still going to have to try to shoehorn Arteta into those managerial echelons that have 90 points or more, because they always try to put up 89 points as some type of metric so they can squeeze Arteta into it when they're having these conversations. What score do I think Arsenal Spurs will be? You're saying 1-0 Spurs. I've no idea what to expect because, somewhat of an unknown with Igor Tudor going in there, so don't really know what to expect score-wise. I think Arsenal will win it. Ultimately, I do think they'll respond with a win today. But scoreline, I don't know, 2-1, something like that. 2-1, 3-2, something. It's usually quite dramatic when Spurs are at home. So, but I think Arsenal get it done. Big Chili 2. How are we, mate? Hope the family are well. Can't complain. Yeah, all good. All good, my man. The weather's starting to get a little bit better as well. It's a bit of sunshine today. I mean, who would have thought it? Haven't seen the old sun in the sky for quite a while. But yeah, it's a welcome sight today. So again, if you're just joining us, I'll run through both sides for you. We'll start off with the Nottingham Forest team. It's Stefan Ortega in goal, then Aina Milenkovic, Murillo and Nico Williams making up the back five. Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangar in midfield. Then Amari Hutchinson, Morgan Gibbs White, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Igor Jesus makes up the Nottingham Forest 11. For Liverpool, it's Alisson Becker in goal, Dom at right back, Kirkes at left back with Kanade and Van Dijk in the centre back positions. A midfield of Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch and Florian Wirtz with Cody Gakpo on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right and Hugo Ekitike through the middle. Victor, how are we, sir? Good vibes, let's go. Love it, sir. Love the positivity, and we need it today. We need it. Positive vibes only, because there's no hiding place anymore in the Prem for us. We've got to keep picking up results, and it needs to start with, well, 3 points today, really. Thank you so much, Victor. Appreciate you. We know we've got a run of winnable games coming up. We've got this one, West Ham. We've got Wolves away. We've got our Spurs at home. So, plenty of options to pick up points. And if you're looking at the runner fixtures for Chelsea as an example, well, we went through this the other day. It starts to get quite sticky for them, and they've got a tricky enough run of games coming up. I mean, I think I have the fixtures here to hand. 1 second. Where's the run of fixtures again for them? There we go. So, the next 6 Premier League games for Chelsea: Arsenal at home, Aston Villa away, Newcastle at home, Everton away, Man City at home, and Manchester United at home. So that is a tricky run of games for Chelsea. And of course, United in that mix there as well. So we need to do our jobs today and then wait and see what happens on Monday when Everton take on United. Spurs are just so bad, but hopefully it's a draw, said Matthew Johnny. And thank you, Matthew. A year with us as well, bro. Appreciate you. Don't know why I'm singing the Genie Wijnaldum song, but there you go. Somebody asking, is the game at 2 o'clock? Yes, it is indeed 2 o'clock. On Sky Sports as well, just in case anybody's wondering what channel the game's on. Right, ladies and gents, a quick reminder about our giveaway for February. We're giving away a signed Jurgen Klopp frame shirt, completely free, still time to enter, and all you need to do is scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of the month, which is fast approaching us, less than a week to go. And if you'd like to get 20% off at thecollectorscorner.co.uk, you can use our discount code Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout. I hate to hold Dom at right back. It's a waste of talent in his position, said that meme guy. It's certainly frustrating, I'll give you that one, especially when Joe Gomez is available. Now, I know you could make the argument that playing Joe Gomez means every centre-back is on the pitch, but we've only got 1 more week until Frimpong's back, so I probably would have done it for this one, to be honest with you, but let's wait and see. Look, if he gets the job done and we get the win, fair enough. Nothing to complain about, but if we don't get the win and we don't perform well, there's a few things in there that will jump off the page to people when they're critiquing it at the end of it. Can somebody confirm, is Craig staying next year? I can confirm that for you, mate. Yes, I'll certainly be here next year. No doubt about that one. Yeah, I don't know if this is in relation to something I've said or one of Connor's jokes about firing me, but either way, I'll definitely be here next season. Although, if he wants to buy me out, Connor, 3 million quid and I'm gone, sail off into the sunset and you can all queue up to take my place. But until that point where somebody puts the money on the table, I'll be here. Yes, I'll be here annoying everybody for at least another season. Were you close to not coming back in the little break? No, I was always going to see out the season, Peter. Yeah, I was always going to see out the season no matter what happened. I just went through a period where I wasn't sure if my physical health was going to be able to keep up, in all honesty. So that was really weighing on me quite a bit. My physical health and, mental draining is fine. You can take a break, you can feel a bit better. But physically, I was going through a difficult patch. So, but I'm feeling quite decent now. So yeah, I think I fully expect to be here next season and to keep trying to chase down that elusive 1 million subscriber count. But we need your help to get there. So you know what I'm going to ask you next, right? Do hit that subscribe button. Phil, how are you, my man? Liverpool play Wolves on the 3rd and the 6th of March. One Premier League, one FA Cup. Thoughts? I mean, one home, one away as well, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. That's right, isn't it? No, they're both away, aren't they? Yeah, they're both away. Sorry. I was thinking because we got West Ham at home, then Wolves away, then Spurs at home. So yeah, I think you're right. I think they're both away. Um, Look, let's be honest, it could have been a worse draw for us in the FA Cup. It's a shame we're not at home. You'd always want the home draw, but two winnable games in all honesty. Just you've got to be confident going and playing Spurs in the FA Cup. If you want to win that competition, you should be going there to win. And in the league, again, it's in the run of games that I would suggest we should be looking to take 10, 12 points from the 12 available. Eddie, nobody didn't ask you to comment again, mate. All I said is, can we stop the negativity before kickoff on a game that every stream for the last week, your first comment has been, I'm not getting sucked in. I still don't want Arne Slot to be here. And I absolutely get it and understand that and appreciate where you're coming from. But the ball hasn't been kicked yet, and no one's asking you to get sucked into anything. We're just asking to see how the game goes before we give any constructive criticism of it or the manager from this particular game. I'll be the very first one to talk about it if we don't win, mate. You know that about me. But it's difficult because I'm as frustrated with the manager as you are. But it's difficult to come on for a match day where you want to try to be upbeat, you want to try and make everybody feel welcome and at ease, and we haven't kicked the ball yet. So there's plenty of time for negativity if it's needed after the result. I'll be the very first one here shouting and screaming. Don't worry, but yeah, let's just wait and see what happens first. Jordan, how are you, dude? Hope you're well. Said afternoon all. Hope everybody is well. Bit nervous about this one, not gonna lie. Annoying that Szoboszlai's at right back when Jones is fit. It is, yeah, it is annoying, but I'm more gonna be intrigued to see if we can unpick Forest if they sit back. I don't really know exactly what to expect from a Vitor Pereira Nottingham Forest versus, Sean Dyche Nottingham Forest or, an Ange Postecoglou Nottingham Forest or a Nuno Nottingham Forest. So let's wait and see if they sit a little bit deeper today. If they do sit a little bit deeper, then I think my idea of pushing Wirtz out to the left would have been more sensible, but let's wait and see what happens. Again, Cody being linked with a move away this week, so we'll see what happens with that over the summer. He's been linked with a move to Bayern over the past couple of days. So let's wait and see what happens there. Given how this season has gone and after the League Cup debacle, Slot can't afford to go weak at any competition. I truly don't think he will, said Kilo. Yeah, he has to. He has to go strong as possible in every game. Although I would be probably saying that anyway, to be fair, because if you were in the League Cup, you'd be in the final at this point if you were still in it. So you wouldn't really be expecting him to go weak. And the FA Cup, he doesn't have that luxury after last season. He shit the bed last year, away to Plymouth. So got to make sure this year that we're go deeper into that competition. Champions League, well, we'll know our opponents in the Champions League next Friday. The draw will take place for the last 16. It'll either be Galatasaray, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, or Club Brugge. Do I want Bradley Barcola in the summer? Not really, no. Look, if I felt we could brush up on Barcola's finishing, yeah, perhaps. But he is a frustrating guy to watch at times with the amount of waste. But I wouldn't say no if the club felt that he was underperforming his XG and that maybe they could get a little bit more out of him because, he certainly has the talent there. Certainly gets himself into good positions, but Whenever I watch Barcola, I just find him extremely wasteful. But yeah, certainly a credible option if the Reds want to look in that direction. But again, I don't really know how much how much that situation is going to change. I mean, you've got the Amonde links, which just seem a little bit more like us. To be fair, I don't really, we don't really do big club moves. It's very, very rare. And to go into Paris Saint Germain to sign a player, I can't remember the last time we've done something like that. So, yeah, I'm just not expecting it. In all honesty, although we've been linked with him multiple times, I'd be very, very, very surprised to see us go out and try to prize him away. I think it's quite funny what Connor did, but we can never get rid of you, Craig. Of course you can't. I am the channel. Let's not make any mistake about it. Me is Mr. Builder of the channel. It's my personality. It's my tenacity. It's my loud mouth that built our community. So you can't get rid of me. No, I'm the shop front. That and Connor's way too much hair. Can't have that much hair on the channel. People would immediately be put off. Imagine looking at it and saying all that hair and a beard. Come on now. If you know anything about Anfield Agenda, it's short, fat, bald men. That's what's needed here. So unless Connor's willing to put on 3 or 4 stones, shave his head, and go and have. Can you get a reverse beard transplant? Can you go get hairs taken out of your face? Maybe we should go and get them lasered so we can't grow a beard. Then we can think about it. Or, as I said, feel free to, anybody can buy me out of my contract if you want. £500,000 per year. So 3.5 million quid and I'm gone. Out of here. You'll never see me again. Anybody out there that hates me, by the way, that really hates me, that wants rid of me, that's all it'll cost you. 2.5, 3 million quid and I'm gone. You'll never see me again. I promise you. Nor will the taxman. Neither of you will ever see me again. Gone. Out of here. Craig will be set up over in Malta or somewhere. Lovely tax efficient. Adios. Connor loves paying tax. Loves it. Can't pay enough of it. Isn't that right, Connor? We have this conversation all the time. I think Connor's too good to the tax man. Too good. Salah super sub or leaves the club next season. I still don't know, Mohammed, mate. I don't know what to expect in the summer with Mo. I've got a sneaky feeling he goes, but I'm happy. As I've said before, if Mo wants to stay in Europe, I think that should be with us. But if he fancies a move to the Saudi Pro League, the MLS, anything like that, fair enough. But if he still wants to play European football at the top level, I want it to be here with us. Mark said, can we get kickoff times on screens for previews and match days? No. There's only so much we can fit on screen, and if people can't Google what time is kickoff, I mean, that's just lazy, quite frankly, Mark. Previews, I think we do bring them up on screen for previews, if I'm not mistaken, and go back through some of the images I had from the previous previews. I think we put the kickoff time, the referees, the VAR officials, and all up on screen for those. But look, people should pretty much know what time Liverpool are playing now if you're a Liverpool fan. So, I'm not going to spoon feed everybody everything. There's only so much room we have on screen as well. And Maltese dude, nice to hear you saying you would retire here. Well, my parents-in-law, my mum and dad-in-law, they have a place over in Malta that they go over to every year. I've never actually been, believe it or not. It's a place I wanted to go to, but certainly from the old tax perspective, Malta's right up there. It's no accident that all the betting companies, or a lot of the betting companies, are set up in Malta. And the other one was Costa Rica. When I was working for an online poker company, a lot of companies were setting up over in Costa Rica as well. Hey Craig, hope you're well, mate. Feeling a slot more positive. I see what you've done there, Corbin. A slot more positive. See what you did there. Boom, boom. Feel like he may be slowly turning the ship. Again, yeah. Look, I hope he does. I can't be any clearer about that. I'm a bit like Eddie in that I'm not getting sucked into it. but I'm open to it. I'll say that I've always been open to it, because if he's turning the ship, it means that Liverpool are doing something right. Slot got top 5 and won the FA Cup. Would you still sack him? Yes, I would. I would, because the top 5's bullshit. Let's be honest about it. I don't give a fuck about finishing 5th. I don't. Club are in the Champions League, fair enough, but apart from that, it's not a trophy. So FA Cup, that's a decent win, but it's not one of the two big ones. It depends on how we finish the season, though. Do we go out in the semi-finals of the Champions League? Because that would give me far more, pause for thought than if we got knocked out in the last 16 of the Champions League and won the FA Cup. So I still think it needs more perspective than just saying if we do this and this. You're going to have to see how we play, how we won the games. Do we look like we've clicked? Do the players look like they're understanding it? Do we recognise the system? How do the last 12 games of the Premier League go? So many things that, I would say still need to see. But right now, I think one thing I feel confident in saying is that we certainly have stopped the rot. We haven't gone through anywhere near some of the run of results that we've had midway through the season. So we're certainly on the upward trajectory from that regard. If he gets Champions League, he deserves to go again. Really? I mean, I don't look, for me, 5th, 4th, still a failure in the league. I can't get away from that fact. This Liverpool team isn't built to be fighting for 5ths and 4ths. It just isn't. So I think that's a failure. Honestly, I do. If we finished 3rd, that's somewhat acceptable. I don't expect us to be in a title race, but the aim for me from here, honestly, is 3rd. If we really, really put a run together, there's nothing to say we can't get up to 3rd spot. And if we finish in 3rd spot, fair enough. Third place I could absolutely live with a cup. But just scraping into 4th or 5th, it doesn't really do it for me. It means, it still means we're quite far off where we wanted to be. And at the start of this season, none of us would have accepted that, just to qualify for the Champions League. So I wouldn't say that was enough for me to win. Now, if he wins the Champions League, different conversation. There was an interesting quote actually from Kloppo's what would you call him, agent. I want to read this out to you because it kind of gives an insight into some of the things we'd always wondered about during Klopp's tenure with FSG. So his agent, Mark Kosicka, said, in situations where he maybe went a bit too far with the owners because he really wanted certain players and they wouldn't give them to him, I was caught in the middle trying to smooth things over somehow. With Jurgen, you can have a proper argument and still get on really well. Those are only brief moments. We're very close friends, and if we don't see eye to eye, we can deal with it. So there was times where he wanted players that FSG wasn't given to. Now that I don't get. I just don't get it. You should give him everything that you can possibly give him financially as an owner when he's at the club. So we always wondered, was there times where perhaps he wanted more players, despite him coming out publicly talking about us being like spoiled kids at Christmas at times wanting a Ferrari, deep down, kind of always got the feeling that he wanted a little bit more, but, wasn't going to go public about it. And now we can see his agent finally, letting the cat out of the bag somewhat. And again, I don't blame him. I absolutely don't blame Klopp for having some times where he was frustrated with the owners if he wanted certain players and they weren't ponying up the dough. We ran through the numbers yesterday. The net spend in the last 10 years, and Liverpool nowhere near the Manchester Uniteds, the Arsenals, the Chelseas, even Spurs. Mark said, if we want to be 4th every season, just get Wenger out of retirement. Exactly, Mark. Exactly. 4th isn't... 4th, it's just not exciting. If you're in the Premier League, you want to be fighting for the title. Especially with the squad we have. Yeah. So, let's wait and see. How would I feel if Arteta got hired as Liverpool manager one day? I'd quit. I'm not even joking. There's no punchline coming. I'd quit. because he's an idiot. And there'd be more chance of me managing Liverpool than Mikel Arteta. And quite honestly, I can't imagine the former Everton player in the dugout at Anfield. I couldn't fathom Lego head there. Like, I just it'd break my little Lego heart. Big Chili said, did something change with the super chats? I'm trying to send one that won't allow me to. Not that I'm aware, but I've seen a couple of people, mate, talk about having issues with super chats lately. Haven't seen it myself, and I've tried to send one or two, but yeah, honestly don't know. I don't think you're the only one that's having some issues with it, though. But either way, like we've always said, we appreciate super chats and stuff, but they're not expected, my man. You coming in, commenting, just being here with us is more than enough. But if somebody wants to send a 3 million quid super chat, feel free. You know what I mean? Feel free. I'm sure Google would love to take a chunk of that off you as well. Rob, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Nice to see you. There are some words not allowed in super chats. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, definitely. There certainly are some words that you can't say. That's a good point. But other than that, yeah, I can't think of any reasons. But good shout on the certain words. But honestly, like we've said, from our perspective, you guys being here is more than enough for us, you know? Your comments, your support, being in the chat. There's never any expectation from us for super chats or anything like that. We appreciate you guys being here with us, and it means more than you'll ever know. It really does. You know, myself and Connor were out for dinner the other night. We had our Anfield Agenda Christmas night out, and myself, Connor's partner, and my wife were out for dinner. And you know, we always take that time, that dinner, to reflect on the last year and, you know, where we've come from as a channel. And we've had the pleasure that every year we've sat down and had, you know, a company night out. We can reflect on a year that's been a positive one for us, and our community's grown. And every year we have the same conversation. What will happen next year when we're sitting here? You know, will we be in the same position? Will the channel continue to grow? And you never know is the honest answer, but it's always lovely. I always appreciate those moments of reflection from where we've come from to where we are. I mean, myself and Connor were standing out in the studio the other day, just going through some of the final touches. And, you know, I turned around and I said, look, it's a long way from a shoebox with a computer on top of it and a fake brick wall behind me up in the bedroom upstairs. You know, it's a long way from that to where we are now, and it's been an absolutely incredible 8 years. Incredible. It's flown by, though. It really, really has flown by. Matthew said I wasn't able to send the super chat till I sent Spurs to Spurs. That's mad. Spurs should be no issues selling anything with Spurs on it. That's mad. Maybe everybody just dislikes Spurs. Maybe they're like, no, can't have that. You're going to bottle the super chat. Won't be able to send it. Shit damn hell fluck is allowed, said Liz. Thank you, Liz. Beautiful word. Let's see if we can we get that into the dictionary? Will that be the Collins word of 2026, Liz? Mohammed, how are you, sir? Said, hey, Craig, what's your prediction for the season? 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th? I'm going to predict 4th, Mohammed, but my goal secretly inside is 3rd. You know, if Liverpool can get to 3rd, I'd absolutely take that from the position we were in, you know. What's really mentally difficult today is that if we win, we won't really move in the league table. You know, unless we win by more than 4, I think we don't move in the league table. So that's going to be a bit of a weird one mentally to digest today later on. If we get the job done and don't move on the table, we will be right there level on points with Chelsea and Manchester United. And of course, United play on Monday. But yeah, be still a weird one, still being in 6th place. But no doubt we'd have closed that gap. You know, it was 4 and 5 points not too long ago. So a win today would really do us a lot of good. It really would. It's a big game today. Oh, I have a question, non-football related. Has anybody started watching I don't know if it's called Being Gordon Ramsay, but it's a Gordon Ramsay documentary anyway. That's on Netflix. Really, really interesting. Genuinely very interesting. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, myself and Sabrina are. I think we're 4 episodes through it at the minute. Really, really interesting stuff. Definitely worth your time if you have a chance to have a look at it. What did the AA Christmas party have for dinner? Everybody had steak. Everybody. Genuinely, Sabrina had surf and turf, so she had steak and prawns. I think myself, Connor, and Katie all had fillet steak. If I'm not mistaken, I think everybody had steak. Certainly, I was the greedy bastard that had 2 desserts, though. Yeah, I was. I'm always that guy. I'm not gonna lie. You look at the dessert board, you see a couple of things you want, can't quite make up your mind. So the answer is always both creme brulee and what was the other one? Creme brulee and what was the dessert we had? I think it was a crunchy cheesecake, something like that. If only Slot trust Ramsey like Klopp believed in Trent. Yeah, that or even Gomez. I would have preferred to see Gomez scratching claimers at right back today. He said he was available to start, so starting it on 5th. Starting what on 5th? The day? I think we're 6th, are we not? One sec. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry if I am. One sec. No, we're still 6th. And if we won today, we'd have to win by more than 4 goals, so. Where's my dog? In the kitchen with my wife. Yeah, in the kitchen. Do you think Dom will run down his contract like Trent for Real Madrid's retirement home? No, I genuinely, I'm quite confident in Dom signing a new deal. I don't say it's 100% nailed on, but I know Real Madrid's name has come up recently. But put it this way, Liverpool are in a position where if Real Madrid wanted him, it's going to cost them a pretty penny to get him. And Liverpool won't let it get to a point where his contract's running down. Not for somebody into his prime like that. So I fully expect big moves to be made there. And look, let's say Liverpool weren't hearing what they wanted to hear, or weren't getting the vibes they wanted to hear back. I think then you look to sell. But I just don't think Madrid have the money. Liverpool won't sell Dominic Szoboszlai for less than over 100 million quid. And I don't see Real Madrid coming to the table with 100 million quid. So honestly, I think Dom is safe where he is. I know his national team manager and has spoken about it, and I think it was Anfield Buzz or somebody else posted a picture of his dorm room when he was at Salzburg, and there was a Real Madrid backpack or something in the corner. But everybody's allowed to support a team or have a dream, but he's in a really good place at a really good club, a potential future captain, loved by fans, and there's legacy to be chased here. So I hope and truly think he does feel that he can achieve what he wants to achieve here. Hey Craig, heading home Liverpool tomorrow. I'll live in Swiss, hoping for a win. Good. I hope you've a West Ham game heading over for, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, enjoy. Safe travels as well, and certainly today more than hoping for a win. Really, 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 really feel like, I don't know, today just feels like it has real significance on the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can do me that favour of hitting the like button, it would be really appreciated. We've got just over half an hour to go till kick-off, so every one of you that hits that like button gets us closer to that pre-kick-off target. Hey Craig, have you watched the Doubters to Believers Klopp doc? Yes, I have. Is that the one that we're in? Or no, I think we're in a couple of these documentaries, little clips. I know the Riding the Storm one. We're in that one. And there was another one. There was a clip of us in as well on one of them. We gave permission for a few of them. But yeah, I've seen most of the things around Klopp, to be fair. Still haven't got around to watching the Gerrard documentary. Haven't got around to watching that one yet. Said, how are you? Said, morning, Craig, my good friend. Morning to you as well. It's yeah, it's an early one today. It's been a while since we had a 2 p.m. kickoff. We've 12:30 against Brighton is the last game before the March international break next month. But apart from that, we've been kind of lucky. Have we had another 12:30 this season, or is that the first one? I don't really remember too many of them. There was a few years where I felt like we were 12 kickoffs at least once a month. It was horrendous. I hate those kickoffs. Is the game on Sky Sports? It is indeed, Kieran, yeah. All Sunday 2 p.m. games are always on Sky. I think they show all of them. So I think there's 3 2 p.m. games and Sky show them all. Martin said, I hate the Six Nations. Six Nations was great yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. It was a wonderful day. Wonderful day all around. James freaking Milner got another record. Yes, love that man, said Liz. He did. The most capped Premier League player of all time. The most appearances in the Premier League of all time, just surpassing Gareth Barry by one. Yeah, incredible. What a man, Jimmy Milner. Just an absolute legend of the game. Have I ever done a setup tour? Yes, I have. I think it's up on our Instagram and TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. We'll do a nice video when the studio's fully done before we start working in it as well to show everybody around it. But yeah, we have it's not that impressive, the current tour, if I'm being honest with you. If you can fit it in a TikTok, it's probably not that impressive. So yeah, it's this corner of my living room, mate. It's genuinely all fit into about 7 foot of space. Do I follow rugby, Six Nations? I wouldn't say I follow it. You know, I keep an eye on it, put it that way. But that was a good weekend for Ireland in the rugby. The under-20s won as well against England. I think it was our biggest ever win at Twickenham. So yeah, good weekend in that regard. But like I said, for me as an Irish person, I want to see Ireland perform at a Rugby World Cup. We've never reached the semi-finals of a Rugby World Cup. That has to be the goal for the next World Cup. I like your green screen and all the XI scores, etc. Really cozy setting. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. We're going to be moving away from green screen when we go into the studio, though. We'll have a green screen. We bought a massive green screen, actually. We've got an 8 foot by 8 foot green screen for the studio, but we're going to be using real world stuff. Our logo was just finished the other day, and it looks awesome. I'll show it to you now, actually. 1 second. I'll show you our finished logo on the wall, which would be way too big. Watch. No, it's not that bad, actually. So there's the back wall of our studio. I'll let you have a little sneak at that. So just to give you a little idea of what you might expect when we go into the new studio. That's the back wall. I'm pretty happy with that, I've got to say. Sabrina's brother painted that. Very talented dude. Very, very talented dude. Love you, Craig. Currently bracing for a blizzard here in New York. I was seeing that. I seen Madani on the news talking about what to do and where they're going to be and what stations are going to be set up and stuff like that. So yeah, thinking of you guys and hope it goes well, or as well as can do. But yeah, thank you, my man. Do let us know, Steve, how you get on. Nothing could be cozier than tuning into a watch along with snow is falling. Well, I hope stay safe, my friend. Stay safe, and thank you so much for dropping in, Stephen. Appreciate you. Billy said that's amazing. Thank you. Johnny Byrne said nice. Thank you, mate. Very nice. Nice plug holes. Yeah, it's it was I want silver ones. I don't like white plugs, so not that one. Don't like white plugs, so yeah, I was all for getting the silver sockets. Honestly, whatever. Wait till you see the table as well. I can't wait to show you guys around the studio. Honestly, we've so many fun little things that we're getting done to it, and it's pretty much nearly there now. We're working on the finishing touches, but it'll be lovely to finally get in there and have a real world backdrop where, have a proper table that you can see and all this other stuff. Can't wait. Sabrina's brother, great work. Thank you, mate. He's so talented. Like, he's an artist. He's one of these annoying feckers, actually, is what he is. He can play about, I think he can play about 8 or 9 different instruments. He's a talented artist. He's just one of those really creative people. Really, really creative fella. So as soon as we knew we wanted to put the logo on the wall, I said to Sabrina, give your brother a call and see if he'll come down and do it. Because I knew he'd do it spot on. And I certainly wasn't doing it. God almighty, if I was doing it, it wouldn't look anything like that. Yeah. RIP Rondo Moore. I always speak up. Thank you. XX Spiders. Appreciate you. Russ Mays said Sunday roast and AA watch along. Oh, you're making me hungry, Russ. Sunday roast. I love a Sunday roast, mate. It's been a long time, though. Usually I'm not up early enough for a Sunday roast, to be honest. Crowler said, I love creative people. So do I. I just am one of them. I really am. I always look at them in awe. Like, Connor's a graphic designer by trade as well. And yeah, I always just look at the finishing touches and the small little things that, creative people like Connor do. And just think to myself, yeah, that ain't you, Craig. That ain't you. Do you think the bottle jobs can go all the way, or do you see City bagging the title? At this point, Sershin, I see City doing it. I think Arsenal have now given them too much momentum. Drawing at Wolves after being 2-0 up, after drawing at Brentford. They've allowed Manchester City back in. And unfortunately, I think it goes back to our game against Man City. That gave them the momentum. And when we were 1-0 up after Dom scored that goal, the title race was pretty much done and dusted at that point. But City found a way to leave Anfield with the 3 points, and that put the pressure straight back onto Arsenal, and it's showing. It's stencil and spray paint, not rocket science. Well, it's neither of those things, you fucking smart arse. He did a freehand, so if you think that's stencil and spray paint is not that rocket science, well, there was no spray paint used, not one fucking tub of it, and it was done freehand. So keep your smart arse comments to yourself, especially when they're ill-informed and you're trying to undermine somebody's hard work. I know the time that went into that logo, and it wasn't fucking stenciled and it wasn't spray painted. It was done by hand, and it was done with a paintbrush and a roller. So but again, you know everything, don't you, dickhead? You know everything. Who do you think would go further in the Champions League out of the English clubs? I think one of the English clubs win it, in all honesty, mate. I think I don't think it'll be Arsenal, but you have to put them in the mix because, they are a good side. So I think it'll be us, City or Arsenal. I mean, there are other options. PSG, of course, could retain it. Bayern Munich are always going to be in with a show. I don't think Real Madrid have a chance this year, in all honesty. Although, if I'm not mistaken, and excuse me if I am, I think there's a possibility Real Madrid play Man City. If Madrid get through Benfica, I think that's one of the possibilities for Man City. West Ham fan here. Do you feel confident of the win today? What about us next week? Do I feel confident of the win today, mate? Never really confident going to the City ground as a Liverpool fan, to be honest. There hasn't been too happy of a hunting ground. How do I feel about next week? Honestly, I think we should win. It's at Anfield, and if Arna wants to keep his job, he's got to be picking up those points. Genuinely though, hope West Ham stay up, and I'm not just saying that because you're in the chat. I really do. I don't want to see them go down. But it's looking tight at the bottom of that table, and let's say Spurs lose to Arsenal and we beat Forest today, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting finish for that last relegation place. You know, there's probably 4 teams that you could look at and think all the way. There's probably one position above Spurs even. Laser Cargo, I'm not sure how I pronounce the name to be honest, but welcome to Anfield Agenda FC at LARZ3N-CSGO799. Welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my friend. Hi Craig, I'm a young footballer from South Africa. I have aspirations of playing in Europe, specifically England and Germany. Any advice? Yes, believe in yourself and keep going. And don't take no's as the definitive answer if you get any. Keep going, keep believing in yourself. And who knows, mate, where you'll end up. Honestly, just keep doing it. Keep being you. Don't give up. Keep your head down. Keep training. Keep listening. Look after yourself. Eat well. And we hope to see you over in Europe soon. And if you do, remind me when we have the conversation. Make sure you let me know that you made it. But either way, wishing you all the best on your journey. And yeah, much love to you over in South Africa, my friend. Big Chili, how are we, sir? Hope everybody in the chat as well. Good, mate. I'm good. It's nervy times though. You know, really don't know what to expect today. I was impressed with Nottingham Forest midweek against Fenerbahce. I sat there and watched the game and genuinely was impressed by them. Johnny, thank you, mate. Johnny doing my work for me. Appreciate you, bro. Johnny said, 20 minutes will kick off. Please smash the likes, guys. Please do. And thank you, Johnny, as well, for a year with us, bro. Happy anniversary. Ladies and gents, I'll take you back through the starting 11s just in case you're joining us. We'll start off with the home side. It's Ortega in goal, then Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo and Williams making up the back five. Anderson and Sangar anchor the midfield, with Hutchinson, Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi and Jesus up top. For the Reds, Alisson Becker in goals, Dominic Szoboszlai at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back. Centre-back pairing of your captain Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Kanade. A midfield of Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch and Florian Wirtz. On the left, Mr. Cody Gakpo. On the right, Mo Salah. And through the centre, Hugo Ekitike. A look at both benches for you, starting with the home side. Morado, Ndoi, Dominguez, Gunn, Luca, Yates, Cunha, McAtee and Bakwa. For Liverpool, Gomez, Chiesa, Jones, Georgie Mamardashvili, Robbo, Neoni, Ramsey, Morrison and Engamoa. They are both benches. A reminder that Paul Tierney's on VAR today, so expect the unexpected. John, always lovely to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hey, Craig and Connor, lots of channel flipping with the Reds and the US hockeys. Let's go USA. I don't know who are they playing. Is it Canada? I've no idea. I would imagine that'll probably be the final, right? Usually when I think of ice hockey at the Olympics, you're thinking Canada versus America. Although I know some of the Eastern European states are quite big at the old ice hockey as well. Kieran Lorrigan, how are we, sir? Lovely to see you as always. Appreciate you with us. 2.5 years. Congratulations. Excuse me, 2.5 years if my calculations are correct. Would have been more without the Twitch days, I believe. Hope you're feeling better, bro. Yeah, I'm feeling physically a lot better, mate. Yeah. Starting to get some feeling back in this finger now after, what has it been? 4 months. And finally starting to get a bit more feeling in my finger now after that nerve damage. So yeah, I'm doing all right, my man. Doing all right. Looking forward to a breakaway at the end of the next month during the international break. Finally getting some sunshine because it's been sorely lacking for the last few months. Hi, Craig. New sub. Tuning in, waiting on the North London derby. Mario, welcome in. Sorry, Marie O'Brien. My apologies, Marie. My sincere apologies. I read that as Mario, but it's Marie O'Brien. Lovely to have you. And yeah, thoughts on the North London derby? Give us your score prediction. I'm gonna go 2-1, Marie, to Arsenal. Was Johnny hiding a sack from Spurs or did he leave? I think it was a case of Igor Tudor wanted to bring in his own staff So I think it was your services are no longer required, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember when initially when they sacked the manager, they were talking about keeping hiding it on, but I think Igor Tudor wanted to bring in his own lads. Sobo fan said we must talk in the late night agenda roundup today about Stefan Bajcetic and his contract almost out. Absolutely. Bring it up later on tonight, my friend, and we'll absolutely get stuck into it. No problem whatsoever. We're heading towards kickoff time now, but yeah, as you said, do remind me tonight, and happy to have that discussion with you. I'll have a bit more time to look into that situation then as well for you. Johnny in there. Do you know what, mate? I honestly didn't know his contract was up. Hand on heart, I didn't. So I'm going to have a look into that one, but certainly an interesting one. Here's some comments from me from Arna ahead of the game. He said he's versatile, Soboslai, because he needs to be, because that's what's needed. We have our issues, especially in defence, missing out on our two full-backs, but Dominic has done really, really well. Last week, Curtis Jones did the job really well. That's the good thing about midfielders. They're usually able to play in more positions than only in midfield. Yeah, look, I guess it comes down to needs must, you know. He probably feels that Gomez isn't ready yet and he wants to go with Dom in there for the energy. Obviously, what you get in one area, you take away from another area. So, fingers crossed we can get the win. That's it. He looked like a genius if we get the win. If we don't get the win, it'll be the first one that we all moan at. So, you know, it's his decision. Have I seen Klopp's agent's comments? I did, yeah. I touched on them a little bit earlier on. Let me read them back out for people in case they don't know what we're discussing. So, Jurgen Klopp's agent, Mark Kosica, said this. In situations where he maybe went a bit too far with the owners because he really wanted certain players and they wouldn't give them to him, I was caught in the middle trying to smooth things over somehow. With Jurgen, you can have a proper argument and still get on really well. Those are the only brief moments. We're very close friends, and if we don't see eye to eye, we can deal with it. It was an interesting insight, all right, because we always wondered, was there players that he wanted that FSG wouldn't give him? And the picture was always painted that no, Jurgen was happy and Jurgen understood the model of the club. But it's good to know that there was at least some desire from Jurgen on occasion to want more players, and I'd love to know the reason he didn't get some of these players. I'm one of those people as well, though. Like, reading that comment from his agent, that kind of describes me. Like, I can argue with somebody and scream and shout, and 5 minutes later, just be back having a coffee and chatting with them. I don't let things linger like that. If I have an argument with somebody, I have an argument with them. If we sort it out, we sort it out. It's done and buried. Genuinely, yeah. Me and Connor have had a few of them over the years as well. That's just, you know, some people like myself, Jurgen, love the way I've shoehorned me into the same type of category there. Just hot-headed people, but I just find it more that I'm an expressive person and I need to get it all out. Once it gets out, then it's fine. I'm usually quite calm. Can you see it? Can you find my last regular super chat and read it out? I already did it. Read it out a few minutes ago, bro. You said, hope everyone in the chat are well. Yeah, already done it, mate. Read it out. I don't know if you missed it, but appreciate you. Mark. Hope you're well, Mark. Do you know, sometimes I always link people's profile pictures with a thought in my head, Mark. And every time I see you, and it might be just because I'm far away from the screen, I always think, oh, look, it's James Wade. James Wade's dropped into the chat. But anyway, Mark, how are you? He said, I'm not convinced Slot is the man for the job long term. Fingers crossed we get the win over the line today. I think the club get a really good offer for Gakpo, then he should be sold. Certainly some chatter this week that they're going to go after Gakpo as they've been turned down by Yan Diamonde. There was even a comment from the Bayern Space account that said that they could basically fund Yan Diamonde for Liverpool by buying Cody Gakpo. Would I take Gerrard tomorrow? As coach, I've always said I'd take him on an interim basis. But at this point of the season, it certainly doesn't feel like they're going to relieve the manager of his duties. So I think come what may now, Arno will see out the season. And then, of course, we see what happens in the summer. Jacob said prediction for the North London derby. I think Arsenal win it by a goal, maybe two. Spurs just have so many injuries, just like 13 players out, something like that. And Arsenal usually respond well in North London derby, so I'm gonna say they get the win. But I do think I'm gonna predict that the league title is won with like 85 points, 86 points, something like that. Yeah, that's my guesstimation for the league title. Whoever wins, it'll be 85, 86 points. And yeah, it'll be another season, by the way, that Arteta doesn't get 90 points. And I'm getting fed up of seeing him talked about as, up there with the greats when one never broken 90 points and won fuck all, basically, except an FA Cup in his first season that he came in halfway through the season. So much stuff to talk about tonight as well. Sport Bible did the top 60 Premier League players of all time via The Athletic, and they went through and they named them all out. And some of the names on this list, I think, are well placed. Some of the ones on the list, I think, are extremely ridiculous. So, just one example from the list I want to touch on before we get going with the game is that Mohamed Salah's number 25 on the list of top 60 Premier League players of all time, and Eden Hazard's number 16. And I don't care. I just don't care what anybody says. Eden Hazard should never be above Mohamed Salah in any list. Ever. Ever. I don't give a fuck. I will argue this point till I'm blue in the face. There's just no way. The consistency that Mo has shown in the Premier League versus Eden Hazard is not even close for me. I think it's an absolute piss take that anybody puts him below any list from Eden Hazard. The man went a whole season or a year without scoring a goal. It's an absolute disgrace. Salah's numbers alone dwarf his. I just don't get it. To have Eden Hazard above Salah, I just don't get it. I don't understand what metrics were used to figure that out. Because for me, I'm talking about Salah up there with Thierry Henry, like right up at that level. And if you even look at their numbers, again, I think Salah comes out on top. But he's way, 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 way down the list there from Henry. It's just bullshit. I'm not saying Henry shouldn't be high up the list. Thierry Henry is an incredible footballer, absolutely unbelievable, and certainly I think a conversation about Mohamed Salah would be closer to Henry than it would be to Eden Hazard. I mean, that lad, just mad. Some of the stuff he just, I don't understand it. I don't understand how Hazard is thought of so highly. He's so inconsistent. If I knew who James Wade was, he's a darts player, Mark. He's a darts player. And a very nice lad. Mechanic as well. Yeah, James Wade's a darts player. So it certainly was, I would say, a compliment. I meant it as a compliment. I don't know which way to take that. Unpopular opinion, we should give Mo and Verge an additional year. This way, young players are settling in. We have experienced players to join them. I would certainly agree with you on the Van Dijk side of it. I don't think yet I'd be making a decision on an extra year on Mo. I'd want to see a bit more and maybe go into half of next season if he was still here to look at an extra season. But for Virgil, I wouldn't say no to it. I think he can play at least 37, 38 easily at the top level. Mad Lancer said, what's your opinion on Szoboszlai today? That I'd rather have him in midfield, same as everybody else. I understand why Arne's put him at right back. And if we get the result, no problems with it. If we don't get the result, I'm sure it's one of the things that we're going to be talking about. Drake Dillian said, Hazard was technically gifted but not consistent enough to be compared to the best players the league has ever seen. He was brilliant on his day, absolutely. He can be unplayable, Eden Hazard, on his day. But those days just weren't frequent enough. And for him to be so high up that list, I just think it's just glossing it. I don't like it. Some of the other names on the list that have absolutely no argument with. Sergio Aguero's number 10 on the list. I think he deserves a place there, no problem with that. Ronaldo's high up the list, and I don't get that really either. Was Ronaldo in the Premier League long enough to deserve to be 5th on the list of all-time Premier League players? I think that's absolutely no. I'm not saying, look, we're not basing this off Cristiano Ronaldo's career. We're basing it off his Premier League career. And there's no fucking way he's top 5 Premier League of all time. Not a chance. Not a hope. And I don't even understand how that's an argument. Oh, Wirtz is out of the starting 11. Yeah. Florian Wirtz out of the starting lineup. Curtis Jones starts. Just confirming that, as you've said, it is now confirmed. Florian Wirtz out of the starting lineup. Curtis Jones in instead. Oh no, that's a big loss for us. There's no arguing about that. That is a big loss for us. Now, here's what I'm going to say. If I'm the manager here, Jones is going into right back, and I'm pushing Dominic Szoboszlai up into that position that Florian Wirtz would have occupied. Yeah, that's what I would do in this situation. Put Jones in at right back and push Dominic Szoboszlai back up to the Florian Wirtz position. Matthew said, in my opinion, Salah and Hazard were both too low. Salah should obviously be higher than Hazard. I mean, just looking at the list here now. It's hard to really look at the names above them and argue. Other than Ronaldo, I just don't get him being 5th on the list. I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, other than that, I think, a lot of the names make sense to me on that list. It's a good list, just a very good list. I mean, we'll always have things as footy fans we disagree with on it, but Ronaldo being number 5 really just jumps off the page to me as a ridiculous choice, because it's not about his career outside the Prem. No arguing about the man's career. Is absolutely sensational. But really? Top 5 Premier League of all time? Do I have a favourite player in the Liverpool squad? In this Liverpool squad, not from base. Yours is Conor Bradley. Do I have a favourite player in the Liverpool squad? Yeah. Do I have a real favourite at the minute? I probably have 3 or 4 that I really, really like Maka, Alisson, Veer Tekatike, ones that I really enjoy watching. Obviously Salah's right up there, but if I had to pick one from the current group, probably Robbo. Yeah, probably Robbo. Robbo, Alisson probably be the 2 that would be jumping into my head first as was my 2 favourites. It was always Bobby Firmino. Bobby Firmino was always my favourite from modern times with Liverpool. Right, ladies and gents, teams are in the tunnel now, walking out. We need you to hit that like button for us. We're still 166 likes short. So if you can, in the remaining 4 minutes, do hit that like button. RDR said, watching Canada versus USA hockey gold medal game as well. Well, do let us know who wins it, and best luck to both nations. 3 players fasting, by the way. For us, or in the game? Because I think for us, do we not only have 2 players observing Ramadan, if I'm not mistaken? I thought there was 2, but like I said, I could be wrong. Canada and Salah, no? Yes, we know Wirtz is out, guys. We know Wirtz is out. We've already discussed it. He was injured in the warm-up, is what happened. So, injured in the warm-up. Let me just make sure my clock is working, by the way. Yeah, cool. Oh, Ekatike is Muslim as well, is he? I didn't know that, to be fair. So yeah, 3 players. My bad. 3 players. I didn't actually know Hugo Ekatike was a Muslim. There we go. So you live and learn. It's never something I actually look into with any player. because like I said, religion doesn't pop into my head at any point. So, but you live and learn. Yeah, cool. So there you go. I did think at one point I wasn't sure about Joe Gomez a few years ago. I wasn't sure what religious background Joe came from, but so it's Hugo Ekitike, Mohamed Salah, and who do we say the other one was again? Hugo Ekitike and Ibu, all observing Ramadan. Well, fingers crossed that they can get through the day. I think, if I'm not mistaken, reading a few articles midweek, sunset sometime between 5:30 and 6 p.m. at the moment. I was very without going into it, it was nice to have it explained to me by somebody a few years ago exactly what Ramadan is about. It's a really beautiful theory for the reason for the fasting. I mean, I suppose, if again, without getting into religions, we're observing Lent in the Catholic religion at the minute. So, that's a thing where if for people who maybe don't understand the Catholic religion, Lent is where you would abstain from something, whether it be sweets, chocolate, whatever, until Jesus rises and the chocolate bunnies are around. Would I take Nico Williams back if Forest go down? Yeah, it'd be a decent option, to be fair, as cover. But only if the club really feel that Conor Bradley's injuries are going to be a consistent thing, because, we still need 2 more likes, folks. 2 more to go. We're just about to kick off. We've 2 more to go. Craig Sunday sermon. No, definitely not going to happen. The gospel according to Craig, though, I can give you that, definitely. Right, ladies and gentlemen, and the gospel according to Craig is that we best win a bleeding trophy this year. That's the gospel according to Craig. Right, ladies and gents, we are about to get underway. Just if you're joining us, a reminder that Florian Wirtz was withdrawn in the warm-up, picking up a knock, so it is Curtis Jones that comes in to replace him. Yeah, what am I giving up for Lent? Nothing, because I don't practice religion. So yeah, nothing for me, mate. I'm going to carry on as normal. I don't believe in God, to be honest with you. I was christened a Catholic, all right, but I'm not a practicing Catholic. Right, my friends, we're underway. We are underway at the City Ground. Liverpool playing from right to left in the first half. Ball's played forward to Curtis Jones, so we can confirm straight away there that Jones has gone in to the advanced position, and it is still Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. Milos Kerkez now. Ball played forward. Liverpool in the creamy white coloured shirt today. Craig believes in Liverpool. There we are, Mohammed. That's the one, bro. There we go. Anfield's my church, bro. There you go. Right. Spot on. Right, we'll sync up at 1 minute. You don't believe in God? No, I don't, Dennis. I don't. I respect other beliefs. I respect people who do, but I am not a religious man in any way, shape or form, my friend. Ball back to Alisson. To Virgil. Ball played into midfield to Grafenberg. 1 minute and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I always seem to be 1 second ahead of Sky's clock, but I'm saying they're slow and I'm right. Ball out to Salah, wide right. Salah goes infield to Dominic Szoboszlai. Maka. Back to Ibu. Pitch looks good. Looks like a good day for footy at the City Ground as well. Weather looks nice today. Looks like spring is finally arriving. Maka tries the ball into the right channel. It's intercepted by Forest. With Murillo, who goes back to his keeper. I mean, of all the injuries we could have picked up, outside of one to a centre-back, losing Wirtz, it really hurts, doesn't it? Again, though, we don't know if it's, a proper injury or a niggle. Oh, Virgil misplaced ball straight to a Forest player, and thankfully they overhit it looking for Igor Jesus, and now it's back with Szoboszlai. He tries an outside of the foot pass to Kirkes. It's high risk stuff from the Reds, but they get around the first press. Now Kirkes in space into Jones. Jones, he's dispossessed. Sangara, he plays the ball forward. Forest in behind now. Allison. Oh. Allison bails us out yet again. Hudson-Odoi through one-on-one. Allison comes out and makes the save. And it's not been a great start, this, from the Reds. Forest look like they're snapping into challenges, pressing us high up the pitch, forcing us into errors, and then one ball through again. Szoboszlai was out of the right-back position. He gets back into position, but Hudson-Odoi's through one-on-one. And yet again, Alisson Becker reminds us why he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Shaky start, this. A few misplaced passes as well early doors. There's another one. Fucking hell, boys. Wake up. Gravenberch. His ball's intercepted. This time it's Nico Williams. Come on, lads. Wakey, wakey. Hudson-Odoi. Wide left. Tries a reverse ball into space. Liverpool get a few players back. Dominic Szoboszlai snaps into a challenge. Ricochets to Canade. Now to Allison. Who's on for Wirtz? Curtis Jones, Dylan, mate. Curtis Jones. Speaking of, there he is on the ball now. Jones to Salah. Back to Jones. To Maka. Maka pings one out left side looking for Cody. Gakpo does well to keep it in. Well done, Cody. Plays it back to Gravenberch. Kirkes. Liverpool now back towards the halfway line. Virgil. To Canade. Canade out wide right. Salah. Cuts it onto his left foot. Tries a dink little ball, but it's straight off a Forest defender, and now Forest look to clear their lines. Press comes on from Ekitike. Forest still playing around at the edge of their own 18-yard box. They clear it long, but Canade wins it back. Szoboszlai. And now it's with Virgil. Halfway line, right-hand side. Szoboszlai out to Salah. Back to Dom. Little 1-2 with Gravenberch. Virgil. Out left side now to Cody Gakpo. Gakpo slips it down the line to Milos. He's, for a rare occasion, he's out-muscled. Aina now brings it away. Ball comes off the referee, but he allows it to carry on as it stays with Nottingham Forest. Forest now move it out left-hand side. Szoboszlai's isolated out there now against Hudson-Odoi. Canade comes across to offer him some support. Forest try a deep cross. Gravenberch heads it away. And Forest let that go behind for a corner. First one of the game on the far side. Elliot Anderson whips up the City Ground faithful. So Wirtz not even on the bench. Ian Doyle saying so, completely ruled out of the game today. No Wirtz, not even on the bench. Corner in. It's an awful corner. And Dominic Szoboszlai clears it at the near post. No, excuse me. Milos Kerkez clears it at the near post. My apologies. And it goes out for a Forest throw-in. Second ball in. Again, it's well cleared by Liverpool. Forest have it back on the halfway line. Murillo. He goes across to Aina. Out to Gibbs White. He slips it in field. Well done, Milos. Good bit of defending, Milos Kerkez. Well done, fella. He feels he should have had a free kick. There was nothing doing, but it is a throw-in. But still good, strong defending there for Milos. Aina. Forest now have a halfway inside their own half. Murillo runs towards the centre circle, goes out left side to Williams. Milinkovic. Aina. Gives White. He has a bit of space ahead of him now. Moves the ball into the left channel. Elliot Anderson. Anderson goes out to Hudson-Odoi. Couple of players on the edge of the box now for Forest. Sangar gets the ball out of his feet. Tries to work a shooting position, didn't get one, but they still have it with Aina. Hutchinson. Morgan Gibbs White back out to Amari Hutchinson. He puts in a cross, headed away by Virgil. It's been pretty much all Forest here in the opening exchanges. Certainly starting the game quicker. Salah does well though. Good bit of work, Mo. Comes back, helps out his defence, wins the ball, plays it to Ryan Gravenberch. Well done, Mo. Milo, the game is on Sky Sports, my friend. Sky Sports main event for this one. Virgil. Back to Curtis Jones. Jones to Kirkes. Kirkes back in to Jones. Across to Ibrahima Kanade now. Kanade pings a diag, looking for Cody Gakpo. It's well defended though by Aina and heads it back to his goalkeeper. Aina cushions the ball into space to Gibbs White, who lets it run across the front of his body. Back into Aina now. He's brought down. It'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Probably too far out for a shot. I say probably because there's been some absolutely incredible free kicks in the Prem this season. Oh, on the free kicks, by the way, I want to just point something out to people. I don't know if you've seen the Aston Villa game yesterday and the free kick that was scored against Aston Villa. That's on the goalkeeper. If I watched that back and I couldn't believe the arrogance of Emi Martinez having a one-man wall for that free kick. That it was curled straight into the top corner. That's shocking goalkeeping from him, by the way. Look at the back. One-man wall. The arrogance of it. Hutchinson played the ball in. Headed away by Van Dijk. Murillo has it now. He slips it down the line looking for Gibbs White. He collides with Ryan Gravenberch. Referee says nothing, doing points for Liverpool goal kick. Definitely nothing in that. Just both of them looking to shoulder into each other. When evil follows, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the kind words. Much love to you. Verge, he pings one out to Dom. It's asking too much of him, for fuck's sake. Verge's passing's been awful since this game started. Elliot Anderson now wins a back strike. Oh, dragged it wide, thankfully. We can't keep giving Forest encouragement here. Jones this time takes a heavy touch. He's dispossessed. It falls to Anderson. He gets a strike away and thankfully drags it just wide of Alisson Becker's right-hand post. Padraig said, yeah, that's Martinez's fault, but some technique. Oh, it's incredible. Incredible free kick. I'm not for 1 second trying to take away from the Leeds player's free kick. It was absolutely incredible. But as a goalkeeper, I'm telling you, you put that one-man wall there out of arrogance because you think there's no way he's beating me on my side from here. And it was just shocking. Great technique, like you said. Certainly don't mean to take away from the Leeds player's technique, but yeah, it's just arrogance from Emi Martinez leaving that much space. Tony said, Craig, you're my commentary for today because my internet has gone down. Well, I'll do my best to keep you up to date, my man. Ekatike down now after a challenge. Camera pans to Veert sitting up in the crowd. Ekatike's back up, so we're all good there. Free kicks taken to Kirkes. And Liverpool, again, sloppy. Cody Gakpo plays the ball across the halfway line, but straight to a Forest player. Wake up. So Virgil just about kept the ball in after a heavy touch. Then straight after that, Gakpo gives it away. It's just been messy and sloppy so far from Liverpool. Soboslai to Kanade. Back to Alisson. Alisson takes a touch, spreads it out left-hand side, looking for Cody. Cody heads the ball nicely into the path of Curtis Jones now. Jones plays the ball a little bit behind Cody Gakpo. And here we go. Free kick in Dominic Szoboszlai territory. Cody Gakpo has the back of his ankle clipped by Ibrahim Sangara, which gives Liverpool a free kick in what you would have to say is right in Dominic Szoboszlai territory. Let's see if it's funny because we were talking about the Emi Martinez free kick goal he conceded yesterday. It's kind of in a similar position to exactly where this is for Dom. Yeah, it's very, very similar actually to that Leeds free kick yesterday. So let's see if Dom can do the same thing and put it top bins. There they are, the two boys, Salah and Dom. The two lads who love assisting each other for free kick goals. So, 3-man wall here for Nottingham Forest. I mean, again, if I'm the keeper, I'm moving that wall a couple of steps to our left. Salah, oh no, they've dinked it in. They didn't shoot. Salah dinks it to the far post, and eventually then it's cleared by Nottingham Forest. I mean, I have to say I'm surprised. I think Liverpool had a few players offside there as well. Surprised he didn't have a pop from that. Oh, he's back to wearing navy. Fuck off, Arna. Why does he do it? Where's Liverpool gear and we win 2 games and then he swaps back into navy? I'm not having it, folks. I'm not having it. Right, here comes Cody. Ball out of his feet. Strike, it's blocked. He battles to win the second ball. Igor Jesus has it. Igor Tudor. I was going to say Spurs manager is playing there up top for Forest. Free kick. Anthony Taylor said a foul on the Forest player inside the centre circle. So, free kick. The Spurs manager brought down Igor Tudor inside the centre circle. Forest goes short with the free kick. Back to Milenkovic. Aina. He goes back to his goalkeeper. He said money that his superstitions and navy's his lucky colour. Well, it hasn't been lucky from this year, has it? You know, if he's superstitious, genuinely, if he's superstitious, then why does he change the clothes from the things that he won the last few matches in back to navy? So I would say if he's superstitious, he should be carrying on with the stuff that's getting him the wins. So yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I just think he wants to wear that Tommy Hilfiger jumper he has. Don't forget, by the way, there's jeopardy on this game for me, ladies and gentlemen. My wife's a Forest fan. I'll have to listen to her if we don't win. So there's jeopardy, double jeopardy on this for me. Canade goes back to Allison. Allison puts the boot through it, goes long out left side to Jones. Cody Gakpo. Gakpo to Ekitike. Back to Jones. Ekitike's barely been involved in the game so far. He's dispossessed. Spurs now on the counter. Igor Jesus. He goes out to Amari Hutchinson. Hutchinson now, it opens up in front of him a little bit. Morgan Gibbs White, he puts in a low cross, headed away by Canade. Virgil then finishes the clearance, but it's still there with the Forest number 10. Sangar, he flicks it on. Anderson gets there ahead of Jones. They move it back out to Morgan Gibbs White in the right channel. He puts in a deep cross, headed away by Canade again. Well done, Ibu. Murillo wins the ball back. He has a shot. It's blocked. Anderson then flicks it on. There's a collision and the refs give it a free kick to Forest. Right on the edge of the D. There's a collision of heads between Van Dijk and Anderson. Virgil's okay. I think Anderson's okay as well, but both of them are still sitting down on the ground at the minute. But this is a good position for a shot. Very central, right on the edge of the D at the 18-yard box. And yeah, Allison's got to get his wall set up correctly here. But again, I'd like to see a replay of the incident to know what the free kick was actually given for. Verge is back up to his feet, so he looks absolutely fine. Elliot Anderson still getting a bit of treatment from the Forest medical team. Mark said I always put on my Tommy Hilfiger top for this game. I'm Adidas, mate. I'm Adidas all the way. So, right. So, free kick to Forest. Murillo over it. Gibbs White over it. There's 5 of them currently standing around the ball. Nico Williams, Aina, Hutchinson, Gibbs White. Maka is the draft protector, the bottom of the wall. Liverpool with a 4-man wall. Then a gap, and we've got 2 on the other side of it. So Alisson's fairly central. The free kick, like I said, it's about 22, 23 yards out, dead centre. So Gibbs, White, Murillo both standing over this. Right, referee, I think, is finally happy where everybody is. Taylor blows the whistle. Here comes the free kick. Gibbs White rolls it to Murillo. Murillo fires it straight into the wall. Wall does its job. Well done, Wall. They tried to change the angle, but the wall did its job. Gravenberch then heads it down to Maka. Maka's clearance is intercepted by Murillo. Forrest work it out to Hudson-Odoi. He's up against McAllister, cuts back inside. Tries to play it across the edge of the 18-yard box. Gravenberch collects the ball. Gakpo collects the ball. He's fouled. Free kick Liverpool. Keane, what reply are you looking for? You said still no reply, for fuck's sake. I don't know what you're looking for. What's the reply you're looking for? Craig, if you're Adidas all the way, learn to pronounce it right way. How go fuck yourself? How about that? Imagine. You absolute arrogant fuck. I'll pronounce it however I want. Adidas, however the fuck I want to say it is how I'll pronounce it, and don't you tell me otherwise. Arsehole. Right, throw in on the halfway line to Forest. Aina takes it. Murillo out left side. Again, they really are going down Soboslai's side a fair bit. Salah back defending. Well done, Mo. Rolls it into Jones. Aina. Again. Gravenberch's back putting in blocks. Canade heads it away. Well done, Ibu. Salah. Liverpool just can't get out here, though. Again, Forest hunted in packs and they take the ball off Mo. Hudson-Odoi. It's, look, I'm not going to lie. It's been all Forest. You know, let's be honest about this. It's been all Forest here in the opening 20-21 minutes. And I know by the way, folks, I know I might seem snappy on occasion, but, you know, there's basic human decency. If he doesn't think I'm pronouncing the word correctly, say, Craig, by the way, bro, it's pronounced blah, blah, blah. No, if you're going to say I'm Adidas all the way, at least learn to pronounce it. I actually change the pronunciation depending on the structure of the sentence. I don't know if anybody else is like that with certain brands, but I'll say Nike and Adidas and Adidas depending on how I want to structure the sentence. Strike from Amari Hutchinson. It's a daisy cutter though, and it goes straight into the arms of Alisson Becker. Nessie said a whole week off to prepare and we can't get 3 passes in. I know. You know, I know we've nothing to back this up, Nessie, but it feels like every time, and I don't just mean under iron, I mean in recent history, every time we have an extra bit of time to prepare, we look sloppy. I don't know if other people have a similar thought process, but genuinely, that's what I think of when I think of Liverpool having time to prepare. It's almost like we're better in that twice a week rhythm. Sangar. Ball moved out. to Gibbs White in the right channel. He puts in another low cross. Van Dijk does well to clear his lines at the edge of the 6-yard box. Can we kiss Champions League goodbye if we lose? Qualification? No, there's a bit of wiggle room there. It makes it more difficult, of course, but Chelsea dropped points this weekend, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there for us, but I'd certainly say, you don't want to be giving United much more space. Aina goes along with the throw-in. Van Dijk flicks it on. Edge of the box, Hudson-Odoi heads it down. Nico Williams strike. He's leaning back and it goes high and wide. Carl said Liverpool poor again. No physicality. Get knocked off the ball. Can't pass the ball. Jones knocked off the ball. Haven't had a shot yet. Look, I can't argue. Not that I want to, mate, but I can't argue with you. We look disjointed again out there. Completely off the pace. I know we lost Wirtz in the warm-up, but, that can't explain a lack of real physicality out there. Offside flag eventually goes up there against Forest. Free kick to Liverpool. Akinja said, just a message to say I appreciate you, mate. Thank you. That's really lovely. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. 22 months as well. Thank you, sir, for that support. 22 months is incredible. Thank you very much for being a member with us for that long. Swap Jones and Dom. Yeah, I said that actually when we heard that Florian Wirtz was going to miss the game and that Curtis Jones was coming in. I said exactly that. I'd put Jones into the right back position and push Dom further up the pitch, but Arna just did this on the sideline, so I think he wants more physicality. He wants Liverpool to be out there winning more battles, and he's not wrong, but he's just got to get them to do it. Gibbs White now, he burst through a couple of challenges just way too easily. And then Canade adjudged to have fouled him. Free kick Forest. Carlson said, I enjoy your channel, Craig. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. It's lovely to have you guys here. Honestly, we always appreciate your support. It's, yeah, I'm not going to lie. At this point of the game, a quarter of the way through, or just over a quarter of the way through, it's not been good enough. It hasn't. Now, thankfully for us, the scoreboard still says 0-0, but this game's only going in one direction if we don't start to win our duels, if we don't start to get a bit more possession and do something with that possession as well, because they're hunting in packs where we're just getting outfought out there. Again, free kick, too far out for shooting position. Anderson gives the signal though, plays it to the edge of the box to Odoi. He flicks it in, cleared by Grafenberg. Nico Williams now. PVT Malone said, hey, no double jeopardy for you, Craig. Either way, it's red panty night. Love seeing you more light-footed lately. Light-footed? What's light-footed mean? I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. I'll take it, my man. And yeah, hopefully you are right. Nobody ever says no to red panty night, do they? So, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Again, Forest first to the ball. Igor Jesus. He's there. Jones with him, though. Sangar, he goes back to Anderson, who's splitting the Forest centre-backs. Out to Murillo. You have to tell us the story how you and Connor met and got into this. Love the channel, Craig. Can't wait for Arteta to be sacked. So, I had a podcast and I needed artwork. And I put out a post on Twitter at the time looking for someone to do a bit of graphic design for the artwork of the podcast. And Connor was the second person to reply to the post, although he hadn't actually replied to the post. He told me years later that he'd spammed a load of accounts with an offer of graphic design work, and it just happened to be a coincidence that we'd put the post up at the same time. So anyway, Connor was the second graphic designer. I didn't know Connor before that. And the first guy flaked, and then Connor did it. And we kind of just got chatting from there. And then it was Connor's idea to come onto YouTube. We came up with the name Anfield Agenda in John Lennon Airport, having a coffee. We were scribbling down some names on little napkins. And then we decided on Anfield Agenda as a name. Connor went into the bathroom, and by the time he came out of the bathroom, I had the Twitter handle, he had the Instagram handle, and a few other things sorted out. And it kind of all came together really quickly. Ekitike now finally gets into a bit of space. He goes past a few players, and then his reverse ball is intercepted by Nico Williams. The players are like Bambi on ice at the moment, said Rocky. Yeah, we're just second best, mate. There's no other way to word it than we're second best. Canada now even going down under a shoulder looking for a free kick that Anthony Taylor ain't giving him, and Ali puts it out, would be a Forest throw-in. Just not at the races here, almost half an hour in. So Connor's been here from the start. Absolutely. Of Anfield Agenda, 100%. That's why when it came time for us to register the business, you know, I followed through on the promise I'd always made to Connor, that when the company goes legit, we split the shares 50-50. And that's what we have. I own 50% of Anfield Agenda, and Connor owns 50% of it. And that's the way it'll always be. You know, I can't speak for other YouTubers, but for me, it was always a case of we started this journey together. We'll see it through together. Allison out to Gakpo. He flicks it over his shoulder to Ekitike. I mean, there's not really much for us to be positive about here in the opening half hour, except for the fact that we're not behind. Forest spread the ball out left side looking for Hudson-Odoi, but it's overhit and it goes out for a Liverpool throw-in. Thoughts on long throws? I feel it wastes a lot of time. It definitely does waste time, but they are effective. You know, they're as good as a cross into the box if you can get them with the right trajectory and pace on them. The interesting thing about them is, and look, it's been spoken about quite a bit, it's never really the first contact you have to worry about from the long throw-ins and stuff. It's always the second balls. Igor Jesus now. Oh, that's straight at Virgil's head. Referee, stop the fucking game. Ref, he's down with a head injury. Fuck, that took too long for me for Taylor. Virgil got that straight in the face. And you can see he went down. Should have been stopped quicker. That's just not good enough from Anthony Taylor. Arna's not happy about a few things. He's having to go with the fourth official over there. Good man, Arna. Give it to him. Give it to him. Chulu Yaksa said, "This is just me thinks Allison should be dropped." I have to say, I don't think he should be dropped anyway, mate. His distribution isn't what it should be at times, I'll give you that, but I still think he's incredible. I mean, he made a big save early on in this game in the opening few minutes. Jason Vlog said, "I just got on. Sad to see Wirtz is out for the rest of the game." It is, yeah. It's a real kick in the nuts, no denying it. And we haven't been really at the races, mate, since the game's kicked off. Grizzly said, "We need a spark. Bring on Rio." So look, hopefully Virgil's okay. He is okay. Big man's back up and walking around. Good to see, because he took that one flush in the side of the head. So, 32 minutes on the clock. Game's about to get underway. Ref and Arna just had a brief exchange. Not really sure what it was about, but drop ball, and Virgil has to wait 30 seconds before he can come back on. Anderson, Sangar, Liverpool one centre back down at the moment, as we have to play the 30 seconds before Virgil can come back on. So just keep it tight now here, give them nothing. Must be nearly there now, yeah. Referee raised Virgil back on, so Virgil can get back into position now. Sangar. Igor Jesus, he tries to thread it through. Maka wins it to Ekitike. Salah now. Nobody near. There's no one out there. Fucking nobody to help Mo, lads. Nobody. That is shocking. Mo gets the ball with 4 Forest players 5 yards around him, and not one Liverpool player there to give him an option. Not one. Fuck me. At this point, Arna be like Lego head. It's all about haram ball, said Jaden. Again, where's our identity? Now, look, folks, I say this quite often, but I don't make up these phrases. Arna wants to be a team, and he bangs on about possession, 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 killing teams with possession, having the most possession in the league. What possession have we really had in this game so far? Certainly not dominating possession. Has zero ambition in the final third of the pitch. It's just nowhere near the level it needs to be. The only saving grace is Forest haven't scored. Ekitike to Gakpo. Cody now. He tries to fire one across to Salah, but it's intercepted by Nico Williams, headed away by Elliot Anderson. And again, Forest crowd us out and win the second ball. How is that a free kick? Fuck me, Taylor, you gimp. Another free kick for nothing. Because Forest player is running out of space, falls to the ground, and Anthony Taylor buys it and gives the free kick. Just stupid. This is proof that Vert's made a real difference, said Jason Vlogs. Yeah, there's no denying losing him in the warm-up is a massive kick in the nuts, but it doesn't explain how we're so far away from where we want to be. It looks like we have made a change, though. It looks like Szoboszlai's gone into the advanced position. Salah now, he puts in a cross over Gakpo's head. It looks like there could have been a change here to Jones at right back and Szoboszlai into a more advanced position. Certainly is. You can see there on the screen, Jones has dropped into the position where Dom was occupying, and Dom's a little bit further forward now, central. Marcus said 5.5k watching. You really are the biggest Liverpool channel. Well, we are, without a doubt, mate. You know, I don't think anybody could argue against us at this point that we're the most watched Liverpool channel. Redmen have the subscriber count all right, but hopefully we can chase that down. But yeah, look, grateful for every single one of those people that are in the chat with us, and thank you for joining us. If I can ask a small favour, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. And of course, we'd love you to drop the like as well. Gakpo, ball inside, it's a good ball. To Maka. Maka tries to thread it through, but Aina intercepts, and again, Forest bring it away with Sangar. Ball into Morgan Gibbs-White. Another soft free kick. Gravenberch, in my opinion, was the one fouled there, by the way. I'm going to just put it out there. I thought it was Gravenberch that was fouled. And maybe there was another foul from Gravenberch after that. But I honestly think that it should have been a Liverpool free kick there and not a Forest one. We've been so blunt in the final third today when we've got up there. Canade stepping across, doing well, covering for Jones at right back. Ball played forward now. It's with Murillo. Murillo to Anderson. He goes out left side to Nico Williams. Sangar. Paul, how are we? Paul Shaw said, who should Liverpool buy this summer? Anderson or Wharton, a centre-back, and at least one wide forward. And it's looking like Yan Diamonde is high up on our list anyway. But yeah, I'd say we need a DM and a centre-back for me. We have to have a look at the right-back position as well and have an honest conversation about that. Oh, shit. Well done, Virgil. There was a ball threaded through that I was fully sure Igor Jesus was going to get on the end of, but Virgil uses one of those long legs of his and gets a timely foot in to win the ball. Again, look, we get the ball, move it across into the attacking third, and again, the first pass looking to stretch the play, and it's intercepted, and we're back defended. Canade, he's fouled. Free kick, Liverpool, right-hand side of our own penalty area. Ben said we've not looked great at all. No, you're right, Ben. I mean, I can't argue with you, bro. Can't argue with you. We're way off the pace. And, I don't want to be robbing the words out of people's mouths or keyboards from the chat, but how do you have 8 days to prepare and this be what shows up? And by the way, I'm not going to listen to Arna's bollocks if he starts going on about Wirtz. Yes, Wirtz was a disappointment for us, but if we're saying this performance is down to Wirtz not being there, then you're admitting we're basically a one-man team, which is even more concerning. But it's not good enough. That's that's all I can really say is we're not good enough. It's too sloppy. I often wonder, does Arna look at the same football we look at? Because he keeps banging on about possession. But we've done nothing in this game. Absolutely nothing with any possession we've had. Gibbs White now. Into Amari Hutchinson. Kirkes comes across. Hutchinson goes wide, puts in a cross. Allison touches it over the bar, corner to Forest. We're not sure which injury Wirtz picked up, mate. All we know is he had a knock in the warm-up. That's all we know at this moment in time. When evil follows, said Craig, why can't Liverpool pass the ball in the final third? Your guess is as good as mine, sir. I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't get it either. We look so disjointed out there. How can you blame the game plan when the players can't complete a 5-foot pass? I'm all for blaming Arna, but you, come on. Well, to be fair, you've got somewhat of a point. No denying that. But again, Arna should have them full of adrenaline out there getting in, winning their battles. There is something to be said for motivation as well, mate. And it doesn't feel like this is a team filled full of confidence or motivation. But it's a fair point you've raised on the 5-yard passes. But ultimately, mate, he sets out the game plan, And everybody's had 8 days to prepare for it. The players, the manager. And that's just how football works, I've said many times, you're not going to go in and fire a whole dressing room, are you? Ultimately, the manager's heads are the ones that are on the chopping block when these situations aren't working out. But I do take your point on board about the pass and it's not being anywhere near good enough. Look at that, though. Ball given right back from the edge of our own penalty area past the Forest. And thankfully, Szoboszlai gets a block in from the shot from Gibbs White. Nico Williams now. Cross in. Anderson strike. Ricochets off a Liverpool player for another Forest corner. Jaden Thomas said proper right back was needed today, but Arna doesn't trust Ramsey. The really annoying point, Jaden, is that he could have had Joe Gomez, though. We spoke about Gomez being fit and available. It's his words in the presser. So in this game, Forest have had 10 shots, 2 on target. Liverpool have had 2 shots, none on target. Forest 57% possession, Liverpool 43. So again, what is Arna's brand of football? Because we're not a possession-based team as much as he tries to bang on about it. Forest absolutely waste that corner, put it straight out of play. Tried to loop it deep towards the back post, but it goes straight over Allison's crossbar for a goal kick. Chasing Vlog said this is the 4th time Forest have got the better of us. Well, they haven't got the best of us just yet. Game's still scoreless. That's the only saving grace right now, is that Forest haven't been able to do anything with the dominance they've had here in the first half. Aina. Sangar, he does well to evade Ekatike. Forest have a back now with Murillo. I hope Forest will forgive us our low block. Yeah, the irony of that is isn't lost on me, my friend. You know, because yeah, Arna despises the low blocks. You know, they shouldn't be allowed in football and all that jazz. But here we are playing with one. Kirkes does well, wins the ball back off of Mari Hutchinson. Then Ekatike's touch is loose and it gives it away, and Forest have it back with Gibbs White. Hudson-Odoi now. Fuck's sake. He spreads it out left to Elliot Anderson. Back to Odoi. Hudson-Odoi inside. Forest trying to unpick that lock, but Liverpool have plenty of bodies back. Jones, McAllister. Again, though, look at that. Forest hunting in packs to win the ball back. This is what we should be doing. Forest are playing like we used to play. In your face, hunting in packs and winning the ball back high up the pitch. Strike! Just over the bar, thankfully, from Elliot Anderson. Ali had it covered, but again, Forest win the ball back high and they're straight in. Ball back. It's played into Anderson. He gets it out of his feet as a strike, and thankfully for us, it's over Allison's crossbar. We're getting dog walked. This is ugly, said Dave. It is ugly, mate. It is. Fed up 1234 said Craig has to be one of the worst first halves I've seen from the Reds. Just not at the races. History isn't on our side. 1 win in 15 visits here has to change, surely. Again, like I said, the only positive I can give you is that it's still scoreless. 3 minutes added on by the referee at the end of the first half, of which we've had 30 seconds. Forest trying to go in behind there. It goes straight through to Allison. Yeah, the only saving graces I have for you is it's still scoreless. Soboslai. Virgil. Gravenberg does well, lets that roll across his body. Goes out to Mohamed Salah. Salah wide right now. McAllister's up at the attack as well. Salah goes back to Jones. Back to Salah. It's all too slow again. Forest with everybody back now behind the ball. Jones. Salah. Again, we're going nowhere. Jones back out to Salah. Tries to slip it down the line. Goes off the legs of the defender. Jones, though, steps in to win the ball back. Liverpool again have it. Same channel, right side. Salah. It's fucking walking pace, boys. Put a bit of urgency into it. It's like a testimonial. Reverse ball looking for Gravenberg. Murillo steps across and wins it for Forest. Hudson-Odoi. Ball inside to Gibbs White. He's crowded out by Cody Gakpo. Maka then plays it straight off his own player's ankles, but it ricochets back. Now Salah has it. Gravenberch. He cuts across. He's challenged fairly and dispossessed. Forest now. We're into the last minute of additional time. Forest on the charge down Liverpool's right-hand channel with Hudson-Odoi. Anderson's back there to help him out. Anderson. We've got 30 seconds or so left. Forest is still right side of the Liverpool penalty area. I'll get to those couple of super chats now in one moment. Let's just see out the first half. Hutchinson. Milinkovic. He gets it out of his feet. Strike, and thankfully that sails over Allison's crossbar, and that should pretty much bring us through to half time, ladies and gents. So about 10 seconds left on the clock, and again, it's another strike from distance from Forest that doesn't trouble Allison, but a worrying first 45 minutes. I don't even know why the ref's wasting time letting Allison just blow up. I don't know why they do this. Wait for the keeper to take the goal kick, then blow for half time. Just blow for half time, save everyone a few seconds of this nonsense. There's the goal kick, and there's the whistle for half time. I don't know why they do that. It's one of my little foibles I don't like about referees. Anyway, let's get into the comments. Nimrod Hurwitz said, Arna dropping his game plan. Again, where are all the people suggesting a corner is being turned because of one decent performance? Hate people with a low football IQ. Look, to be fair, let's not be having a pop at each other. And I know you're not having a pop at me, but, I understand people wanting to be upbeat when we do well. But the points you've made are fair with regards to, how poor we've been today again. I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch that shite. Holy feck, said Curtis. Andrew said a family member in Ireland took his own life 2 weeks ago. He was a huge red. Keep talking about mental health, Craig, my friend. Andrew, I'm so sorry. I genuinely am so sorry. And you're right. Far too many young men in this country taking their own life. I've known, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, 4 or 5 people from my age bracket that I grew in and around who have taken their own lives. And I'll never stop talking about mental health, mate. Never. Because it's an important part of what keeps me surviving as a human being. And it's important for people to know that, we do and should speak about our feelings as men. So thank you for that. And again, I'm so sorry for your loss. Utterly, TC said, it's like the players don't realise the jeopardy. So, if you're going into this game, right, Utterly, TC, like you said, we know Chelsea have dropped points this week. So we know that that's there to be benefiting us. We know United don't play till Monday. So today we not only have a chance to catch up on Chelsea, but we have a chance to lay down a marker to United before they travel to the Hill Dickinson on Monday. And this isn't putting out any warning, is it? Like everybody said in the chat. Before I get into the comments, I want to just give you my take on the first half. It's not been good enough at any level. We're losing our duels. We don't look like we have a game plan that has any credibility to it. Forest are doing to us what I would expect us to do to them, which is hunting in packs, winning the ball high up the pitch, creating turnovers, which are giving them chances. We can't string fucking 5 passes together. Now, as somebody said to me earlier on, and it's a fair critique, we can talk about Arna all we want, but the players have to carry the water here as well. And the players aren't able to string passes together. If this is us after 8 days, and not only that, ladies and gentlemen, the game before that as well, we've had plenty of time between games recently. I don't know what it is about this time of the year, but we've had a couple of gaps of 6, 7, 8 days between games. And we still look horrendous. It's showing up some of them results that we've spoken about before. We all talked about that Karabakh 6-0, but Newcastle went over there and beat them 6-1 away. So, yeah, we need to get our finger out. This has been nowhere near good enough. And, you don't need me to tell you that. You know what you're looking at. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I can, just a quick reminder, while we've got over 8,500 people in the chat, if you can, please do hit that subscribe button for me. Really appreciate you guys being in with us. Thank you so much. At half-time at the City Ground, it's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0. And let's be honest about it, we're second best in that half. Possession-wise, well, for the team that apparently in Arna's mind dominates possession, we've got 41% of the ball. Shots 2, none on target. None on target. Think about that. Not one fucking shot on target in this game yet for Liverpool. Even dangerous attacks, 42 for Nottingham Forest, 16 for Liverpool. Corners, we haven't had one of those yet in the game. This isn't, like, we aren't. Sorry, the clock's still ticking. Sorry. Yeah, apologies. Thank you for giving me up on that one. We aren't the team Arna thinks we are in his head. We just aren't. And I don't know how he gets away with some of the bollocks he talks. Or we've got the most possession in the league. We've been unlucky. I'm sick of hearing this type of stuff from him. Because we haven't had any possession today that we've done that in with. We've just been abject. And again, look like we don't know each other out there. I've seen better friendlies with more get up and go, said Robert Munger. Find the pass. They'd like a scripted FIFA match. Nobody can make a pass. We've been absolutely shocking and embarrassing, said Tyler Martin. Them lads seem like they were smoking dope. Said, well, look, as a man who partakes, I would still be more alert than that out there on a football pitch. VVD has seen all the football success this club has got in recent years. How does he not demand the same hunger from his new teammates as the captain? Well, there was one time there, Nessie, in the first half that the camera panned to Arne Slot. And to be fair to him, he was giving it that. Telling the players to get stuck in. Telling the players to fight for those balls. And it just hasn't been good enough. Like I said, Forest are doing to us what we should be doing to them. Pressing high up the pitch, hunting in packs. Every time Salah gets the ball, there's at least 2 or 3 players around him. And they're just playing through us too easily again. It's so clear we need wingers, no attacking threat. Yep. So for a team, Chris, that seems to be sitting back to play on the counter-attack today, like you've said, where is that pace? You know, how are we going to get at them? Because Gakpo and Salah aren't going to be, ripping down the wings, taking their men on and flying past them. Kirkes I think he's done okay in the first half, but again, both of our full-backs have been asked to do quite a bit. I think Canada has actually done well in the first half, helping out on the right-hand side. Allison, obviously, I'm just watching it back here. Big save early doors from Hudson-Odoi. But apart from that, we should just count ourselves lucky. The Forest have been wasteful. Frankie Boy said, I genuinely think the mental state of fans needs to be a factor when choosing the sack of manager. Drying paint watches us play football. Well, I'm very much a results person. I will accept some abject performances if the results are there. But we do need to get the result. So if we win this game 1-0, I promise you, I won't give a shite how we played come the end of the game. We'll critique it, we'll talk about it, but it won't annoy me because we'll have gotten the result. But what I won't and cannot accept is not getting a result with 8 days and time to prepare. Just remember one thing, folks. That team, that Nottingham Forest team, was in Turkey late on Thursday night playing a match. And here they are back for a 2 p.m. kickoff looking fresher than us. How does that happen? Daksh said, "Defo the worst performance I've seen." Carbon said, "Morning, Craig. We're playing like we're a bunch of Sunday League players drinking beer at half-time to get ourselves together." Andy said, "So glad you're not fired. Love you and Connor." I'm glad I'm fired as well. It was a bit of a shock to the system waking up that morning, Andy, and a message in Connor saying, "Why am I fired? Exactly. I'm sure I deserve it, but why am I fired?" This is arguably the worst football I've seen this team play this season. It's like we're allergic to passing and keeping possession. £1 million players, and they're playing like Sunday League players, said James Smith. James, my friend, I don't think many of us can argue with you. Look, I'm all for what somebody said a moment ago. The players have to have some responsibility for their performances. We can't just constantly only blame the manager. But, the question coming into this game was, have Liverpool turned the corner? Are Liverpool getting back to themselves? And the answer to that question for the first 45 minutes has been, without a doubt, no. Arna's fist hand, you'll get them next time, Jurgen. Look, if we don't win this game, it's because he's wearing navy and nobody's going to tell me otherwise. Go back last few wins. What's he been doing? Wearing Liverpool gear on the sideline. First chance he gets, back into the navy and we're playing shite. I mean, come on now. It can't be a coincidence. At this point, I don't know who to blame more, the product on the pitch, the manager, or the players. I think, honestly, Julio, the blame should be shared. Because yes, we're unhappy with Arne, and I understand that. But I also completely take on board the point that people have made that we can string passes together. These are professional footballers at the end of the day. They aren't putting in enough work out there dual-wise. They aren't putting in enough graft. They aren't putting in enough energy in the press. So I accept that point as well as a Liverpool fan. If we hadn't have played like this after winning a few games, I'd still be of the mindset that they want the manager to go. Because if we hadn't won those few games, I'd be sitting here going, well, they don't give a shit now. They're not playing for the manager. But I don't think that is the case today. I think we're flat, and I don't know why. I definitely think they haven't thrown the towel in on the manager. I think they're just, for whatever reason, not at it. And it's annoying. Jones and Gakpo, first one's out in the summer, please, said the real Johnny Sins hates. Look, again, I struggle to really put this on Curtis Jones either. He came in, was playing in the advanced role, then got pushed into right back as the game went on. Here's what I don't understand. When Florian Wirtz got injured in the warm-up, why don't you put Gomez into right back and then move Dom into his preferred position in midfield? Why bring Jones on to put Jones into right back and then move Dom into midfield? I don't get that. It's like he has a hard-on for playing players out of position. Thank you, K-Music. Appreciate you. Jack said Jones has been awful. Classic case of everybody playing like shite all at the same time. It's happened too many times this year, said Nick Raymond. Players need to pull their socks up. I would have a betting passing accuracy in that half, said find the pass. And Liverpool currently couldn't pass wind, said Sam Lloyd. So fair to say everyone's not happy with the first half, and nor do I have an argument to put back to push against anyone that's unhappy. It's been unacceptable. Now, look, we do know Liverpool historically under Arne have been better in the second half, but let's be honest, it's not going to be hard to be better in the second half. He's hoping that dressing room now, Arne, Virgil, and those senior players are getting stuck in and putting some home truths out there, because it just hasn't been good enough. From an effort-wise, from a quality perspective, from a game management perspective, just nothing about this game today has been acceptable to us as Liverpool fans. 8 days to prepare. Ian, okay, how are we, Eno? Said, this isn't the Liverpool way. Losing possession and not keeping the ball and playing boring football. We need a change. Bring Alonso in ASAP or we won't make Champions League or Europa League. Appreciate you, Eno. Sky Sports horror show for the pool. Paro said Rio should come to run at his man. Szoboszlai needs to play the attacking role. Yeah, look, if you're going to play deep-lying football, you need an outlet. And I agree that outlet could absolutely be Rio Engamoa. But look, you can say it, I can say it, we can all sit here and say it, but we know Cody Gakpo is going to be walking out for the start of the second half. And all of our own frustrations will be laid bare. So, half-time in all the Premier League games, and still scoreless in every one of them. What happened, Wirtz? We don't know for sure, Ross. We just know he picked up a knock in the warm-up, mate. That's all we know at this moment in time. Keane has sent me on a few bits, though, so let me just check. So do you want the most damning statistic of the whole first half? It's the XG. Anfield Sector posted to say Liverpool have an XG of 0.06 in the first half. 0.06. Fuck me. Jamie Carragher said there have been some horror stories for Liverpool this season. This is right up there on top of the list. You can't argue with it. Can't argue. I can't argue with anybody who's frustrated with how we're playing today. Like I said, the only saving grace is it's still 0-0. You know, that's the only positive we can take from that first half, that we didn't concede. Godo Anfield said, why did we look like it was us in Europe midweek? Then we've had 8 days between games and Slot doesn't know where his players should be. Like I said, there is no excuse, mate. There's none. 8 days between games. You know, most managers would dream about having 8 days between games. And I've nothing to back this up. It feels like every time we have time between games, we come back looking off it. If Slot's a good manager, we see a response and a 3-0 win to find the pass. Kirkes has played well again, really improved. I definitely agree with you on that, Jack. Definitely agree with you. Kirkes has looked good first half, looked solid, looked aggressive. One of the few out there that does. Right, the boys are coming out now for the second half. Make no mistake, Salah is finished, said the real Johnny Sins. No way we win if players... Excuse me, apologies. Only way we win is if players ditch Slot's tactics. Excuse me, Neon, mate. Apologies for getting that wrong initially. ELK Music said, everybody's first touch has been horrendous. Whatever Slot's game plan may be, we'll never know if they can't string together decent passes. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue about the passing, mate. It's not been good enough. 5 right backs, 4 centre midfielders get injured. Ramsey might come on. We're about to get underway for the start of the second half. No changes that I can see for Liverpool. And we're underway for the second half. Right, let's see what this has in store for us. Can't be any worse, surely. Forest start in possession. Gibbs White has it right channel. Goes to Mari Hutchinson. Back to Aina. Hutchinson. He cuts in, fires a deep cross. We got fortunate there. Hudson-Odoi just misread the flight of the ball. If he had have had a chance to bring that down, he was in a bit of space inside the penalty area. But thankfully for Liverpool, he misjudges it and it goes behind for a goal kick. Why is the 2 goalkeepers and yes, Ramsey on the bench? I don't know why he puts 2 goalkeepers on the bench. I don't get it. We don't need it, and you could easily at least have an academy player on there. It's one of the frustrations we've had at many points this season. Liverpool finally have a corner here now. A deep ball to the back post. Milinkovic puts it behind. And Liverpool finally have a corner. First one of the game. On the far side, it will be Dominic Szoboszlai to come across for an in-swinger. Right, boys, come on. We've been decent from set pieces in attacking positions in the last few months. Cross in. Another corner? Yes, another corner. Ekitike goes for it at the near post, but it comes off of Forest's head and it'll be another Liverpool corner. Same side. Woodman came into the bench when Wirtz was injured. It's happened too often this season, though. Look, today, fair enough. Fair point, but it's just happened too often this season. There's been games where the travelling side have had a bigger bench. Ball in. Murillo gets his head on that one. Second ball is cleared away by Gibbs right. Ekitike wins it back, though. Back to Dom. Dom fires it across the 18. It's easily defended by Nico Williams. Jones heads the second ball back in. Sangar wins it. Now Forest have it with Gibbs White as they look to counter-attack. They get in behind Curtis Jones. It's Amari Hutchinson. Across comes Milos Kerkez. Good defender, Milos. Gets the block in. It'll be a Nottingham Forest ball. Milos coming across there, covering for Curtis Jones, who was out of position. And now it'll be a Forest corner, which Elliot Anderson's coming over to take. Right, here comes the corner. It's an in-swinger. It's well defended at the near post by Liverpool. Forest have it back though with Hudson-Odoi. He goes back to Elliot Anderson. Anderson tries to work a position for a cross. Can't find one, so it goes back to Hudson-Odoi. Anderson. Hudson-Odoi. They're still trying to create space for a cross. He fires one in. Oh. We're blessed that's not 1-0. Milinkovic gets across the front of the defenders and gets a header. I want to see who was marking him. Gets across the front of Virgil, gets a header, but thankfully for us it goes wide of Alisson's right-hand post. Yeah. Not good enough again. Don't block the crosses. And again, second best in our own penalty area. Murillo now. He's being chased by Dom. Murillo goes back to his keeper. Forest make a mess of it in the edge of their own penalty area. Salah has it. Although his ball is ricocheted straight to a Forest player. Even the turnover possession there where they gifted us the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. We find a way to make a bollocks of it. Anderson. His ball in field. Straight to Virgil van Dijk. Jones. To Virgil. Maka. Back to Virgil. Canade. Soboslai back to Verge inside the centre circle. Virgil goes out to Kirkes. Back to Virgil. Canade. Soboslai to Jones. It's all very fucking slow again though. McAllister. Soboslai. Salah. Back to Dom. Jones. I mean, we're going backwards here, boys. Canade, and we're all the way back with Alisson. Williams, he heads it down to Dom. Challenge comes in on him from Anderson. It'll be a Liverpool throw-in halfway inside the Forest half, right-hand side. Curtis Jones. Again, nothing on ahead of him. Good switch from Dom across to Cody Gakpo on the far side. Gakpo now cuts infield. Of course he does. To Gravenberch. Canade. Kirkes is out there, lads. Move it quickly. That is fucking annoying. Gravenberch took an extra touch for no reason. Then the channel out to Kirkes was cut off. We're taking a touch too many for no reason at times here in possession. We're not moving it quick enough. If you're going to play this type of football, you have to move the ball into space quickly. And these extra touches are killing off the passing lanes. Virgil. Canade. Nice ball to Maka. Lovely ball slip between the lines. Maka's shot's blocked, but that was a lovely pick out from Canade. Dom into Jones. Jones gets onto his left foot. His shot's blocked. It's been better. Better. Good. That was a really, really good spot though from Canade for that pass. Liverpool giving it back to Forest. I've won it back though. Better. Come on, boys. Build on this. Jones. Soboslai. Virgil. Look at the left side. Look how far advanced Kirkes is here. Look, he's almost playing as a 10, Kirkes, where he is right now. And if we're going to create these overloads with the extra man, let's use the space. Ball switched up out to Cody Gakpo. Aina comes across, clips his ankles. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Virgil. To Maka. Maka to Canade. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Still scoreless. Jones. Out to Salah. Salah, Szoboszlai, little 1-2. Salah gets back. Nope, doesn't get on the end of it. Covering challenge comes across from Murillo, puts it out for a Liverpool throw-in. Szoboszlai, Gakpo. Still Gakpo. Still cutting across into his right foot. Fires one deep. Salah heads it down. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that was the opening goal. Fuck. It's a good ball. Gakpo plays a lovely deep ball. Salah then nods it down to the path of Curtis Jones. And you think when Curtis Jones gets that ball, the net's going to bulge. But somehow the shot's blocked. That was probably our best move of the match. Probably should have been 1-0 in all honesty. Like to see a replay of it, but it was a nice ball from Cody Gakpo. Well nodded down from Mohamed Salah into the path of Jones, and honestly thought he was going to bury that. Ekitike, who hasn't really been involved in this game at all so far. Jones. Salah, little flick to Ekitike. Ekitike drops his shoulder, turns into space. Back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai into Salah. This is better. Come on, boys. Salah, outside of the footballs, defended by Milinkovic. Certainly, last 5-6 minutes, Liverpool have been better. Forest throw in now. But yeah, looking at this replay here, Salah nods it down into the path of Jones, and his shot saved by the keeper. He should be burying that. Yeah, he should be burying that. Good save by the keeper, but 3 yards out, you'd expect Jones to score that. Kirkes, back to Alisson, leaves him a little bit short, but Alisson does well. Retains possession, passes it to Milos. Kirkes now, we're 10.5 minutes into the second half, still scoreless. Salah. Jones. Szoboszlai. Back to Canade. Again, Jones trying to draw Forest players onto him. Nothing doing, so he goes back to Alisson. Switched out left side to Gakpo. Brings it under control, goes into Kirkes. He's immediately under pressure. Now it's back with Virgil, and again we're back with Alisson. Kirkes to Virgil. Back out to Kirkes. Szoboszlai. He's really picking up pockets of space all over the pitch now, Dom. Certainly looking far more influential when he's put into his midfield position. Salah now. Jones goes on the overlap. Gives it to him. Jones. Little give and go with Maka. Jones receives it back under a bit of pressure, so he reverts back to Mohamed Salah. Salah cuts in onto his left foot now. Tries a ball into the path of Ekitike, but a sliding challenge from Williams wins that. Ball breaks now for Forest in midfield with Hudson-Odoi. He stops, spins back and around, plays it into the left channel to Igor Jesus. Back to Anderson. It's been better in the last 10 minutes from the Reds. Certainly been the most impactful 10 minutes of the game, but still to have a shot on target. Excuse me, we did have a shot on target. My apologies. Jones' shot was on target. Sorry, my apologies. One shot on target. I keep forgetting Jones' shot wasn't blocked. It was saved by the keeper. My apologies. Gibbs White. He spins in, tries to play the ball into the channel, but Kirk steps in and wins it. Maka now. He's crowded out by Sangar. Forest then give the ball back to Liverpool. Gakpo has it. Referee said, did the ball go out of play or something? Yeah, referee brings it back. I think offside flag actually is up against Gakpo. So free kick to Forest, right hand side. Fulham have gone 1-0 up against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Raul Jimenez with that goal. Murillo launches it forward. Liverpool have it though in midfield with Ryan Gravenberch. Ball into Salah. His ball's about 5 yards behind Ekitike. Fuck's sake. Aina, referee playing an advantage. As Forest have possession halfway inside the Liverpool half on the far side of the pitch. Murillo into Nico Williams. There's Dom back there putting in a challenge as well. We have Forest throw in, but at least Dom's back helping out. We're approaching the hour mark at the City Ground. Still Forest 0, Liverpool 0. Forest going to go for a long throw in here. Liverpool's 6-yard box is packed with players. Forest don't go along with it. They go to Murillo. He then plays it to Anderson. Milinkovic. Ball switched up left-hand side over Jones's head. Jones gets a head on it and goes out for a Forest throw-in down by the corner flag inside the Liverpool half. Hudson-Odoi to Aina, back to Hudson-Odoi. He puts in a cross. Cleared away by Gakpo. Ekitike now has it. He starts the counter. And he's dragged back, and that'll be a yellow card for Aina every day of the week. Ekitike did well, spun away from his man, got into space, and Aina had no choice but to tug the shirt to stop the counter-attack, and it's a straightforward yellow card. Bobby said we can't string 2 accurate passes together. What is this? This is Arneslav football, unfortunately, mate, is what this is. But I get what you mean. It is nuts out there seeing professional footballers not able to string 2-3 passes together. It just looks so disjointed. Soboslai now in with the free kick. Header by Maka, and it goes about 5 yards wide of the keeper's posts. Goal kick Forest. I mean, let's have a little look at the bench again and see what the options are today. So we've got Gomez, Chiesa, Mamadashvili, Robbo, Neoni, Ramsey, Morrison, and Gamoa. They're the options from the bench today for the manager. Obviously, Jones already came on before the game to replace the injured Florian Wirtz. He picked up a knock in the warm-up. Hudson-Odoi now. He's on the charge. He goes past Jones too easily. Kanade comes across to help out. Hudson-Odoi cuts inside. Flops to the ground. Referee rightly tells him to get back up. And ball goes out off a Forest player for Liverpool throw-in. Kieran Allen said, have I missed anything from the first 15 minutes of the second half? We've been a bit better, is the only thing, I guess, Kieran. But I wouldn't say, we're tearing it up or anything, but been a little bit better, particularly in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. It was as it was, but then we started to get into it, and for the last 10-15 we've We've been better, but still not good enough. Forest now with Amari Hutchinson. Kirk sticks to his task. Gravenberch out there with him. Aina puts in a cross. Ooh. Goes over Alisson's head and thankfully hits the roof of the net. I mean, surely that was a cross. Yeah, it was. He was trying to whip it to the back post, but too much on it and thankfully just drops on top of the net. Forest have had 51 shots since their last goal in the Premier League. 13 on target. Expected goals of 3.63 since they last scored in the Premier League. So yeah, Forest. If Forest had shooting boots, we'd have been up shit creek today. And I feel like I've said that a few times this season. You know, Brighton were the same in the FA Cup. We won 3-0 and it looked great at the end of it. But Brighton had chances in that game. And if they had the shooting boots with them, could have been a different match. Today, again, similar situation. If Forest were clinical in the final third, we'd be in trouble here. Double change looking like it's getting set up here by Nottingham Forest with just over 25 to go. Fuck me, lads, this has been a hard watch. Canade, free kick, deep inside Liverpool half. He goes long, but it's over everybody's head. Second ball is won by Maka, though. Heavy touch from Ekitike allows the Forest defender to get back at him and clear his lines. Canade wins the header. Salah can't believe he didn't get a free kick there. He's actually laughing at the linesman and the referee. Jack Murphy said Gravenberch has been god-awful, can't trap a ball. Chris Tatton Music said Rio and Fede will get garbage minutes as usual. And thank you, Chris, for 26 months with us, mate. Here comes the change for Forest. It's Hudson-Odoi, who's the first one to come off. So Hudson-Odoi off. And the second substitution for Nottingham Forest will be their other winger. So they're changing up both the wide players. Mari Hutchinson off. So it's Ndoi and Bakwa on and Hutchinson and Hudson-Odoi off for Forest. Must be nice that being able to change both your wingers. Must be nice. Must be nice as a player known as well. There's an actual chance your manager will change up the wide players if they're not working out. Let's see if Arne Slot answers those changes with some changes of his own soon. It's 2-0 now to Fulham at the Stadium of Light, by the way. Raul Jimenez with a penalty, making it 2-0 to Fulham. So it looks like our victory at the Stadium of Light's only opened the floodgates now. Jones, Soboslai, back to Virgil. He pings it out left side to Gakpo. Again, I know he's done it in other games, and I've given him credit for it, but I honestly feel like every time Gakpo's got the ball today, he's gone inside. Every time. I don't remember one instance of Gakpo going around the outside today. Not one. Again, if I'm wrong, I apologise, but genuinely can't think of it once that he hasn't cut inside. George said, I'm ready to try to watch you blame this performance on Slot again. Are you? Well done, George. You think it's just me that's going to be blaming it on the manager, mate? And why is it my fault the team plays shit, George? I have no say over what happens, mate. I love the way you try to invent like I'm the issue with Slot, mate. Every single fucking person in this chat right now has an issue with Arne Slot. But as I said, keep trying to bait me. And that's all you will ever do, mate, is watch. Just remember that part of your sentence. I'm ready to watch you. Because that's all you'll ever do is sit there and watch. Because you haven't got the balls to do what I do, bro. Nor the knowledge. So you just sit there and continue to watch. As you said yourself. Again, Forest getting into a decent position. Good work from Gakpo to get back and help out defensively, though, wins the ball. McAllister to Soboslai. Back to Kanade. Into Maka. And don't worry, mate, if we don't get a result, you won't be disappointed. I will absolutely be rinsing the manager. I like to be consistent, if nothing else. Again, silly foul from Kanade. High up the pitch, nudging into the back of the Forest player. How's this performance not onslaught, said Raycon the chef. It is, mate. He's just trying to bait me. That's all. Look, there is a point to people who say that the players have to take some accountability. I'm absolutely on board with that. But, you know, we all know how football works. If performances aren't there, it's ultimately the head coaches, the managers that end up being accountable. The most damning thing in all of this for me has been that we've had 8 days, and whatever it is, whether it's the coach, whether it's the players, whether it's a combination of both, we had 8 days to prepare, and this is the garbage that we've come up with. Again, if Forrest could shoot, we'd be fucked. Backward gets the ball there, gets it into his left foot, drags a shot wide. If Forrest could actually get a few shots on target, this game would probably be past us. But thankfully, with 20 minutes to go, we're still right in it. It's still scoreless. Salah, his touch is too heavy, allows a Forest player to get in and win the ball back. Puts it out, though, it'll be a Liverpool throw-in. Just everything. First touch is not great, passing not great today. Just absolutely no rhythm. One shot on target so far in the first 70 minutes of football. Ball switched onto the far side to Kirkes. Gakpo. I mean, when is he going to look to the feckin' bench? Connor said, if the one's off, it's on the players. When it's every game, it's the manager. Look, I'm not stupid enough to think that wasn't a baiting comment from somebody who isn't a Liverpool fan or who just doesn't want to, is only here to wind me up. Anybody with half a brain cell can see that this isn't just a one-off. This has been, unfortunately, a factor this season for us. We just haven't been good enough in many, many, many games. And today, again, we look so far removed from what we know we're capable of. And Salah just, again, given up on that there because he was brushed a little bit and pushed a little bit. In-gear driving school said, why is Jones still on the pitch? And hope you're well, Craig. I'm okay, mate, thank you. I'm okay. Not best pleased with the performance so far. I'm still holding out hope of a late winner. Is it a coincidence that Vert's absence and Liverpool lack creativity? No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so at all. But it's a worry because that kind of tells us, Ronald, that if he is out or if we miss Vert for an extended period, again, we're screwed. This has been a tough watch. Honestly, the only reason I'm still somewhat calm is because there's still a chance we win this game. That's the only thing that's keeping me somewhat calm at the minute, is the fact that we could win this game late if we can put a moment together. Kanade, again, he feeds the ball up to the invisible man. Watching from Chicago, and I was expecting a win and then to enjoy my coddle. Nice, get it into you, which are made for the first time. This team needs to play better. Well in on the coddle. Well in. Hope you do enjoy it, mate. And thank you for tuning in from Chicago. Much love to you. Nothing like a nice bit of Irish coddle on a cold day. 70 minutes on the clock and still no subs yet, said Stevie Boy. What the fuck? Our wingers right now earn a combined 500 grand a week. Oh, don't say that out loud, Nessie. Don't say it out loud, mate. Well, it's going to make me want to vomit. Yeah, that's a sobering thought, all right, Nessie. Forest again on the attack with Nico Williams. Elliot Anderson. Surely he's got to look to his bench soon. Jesus. Not bringing on Rio for Gakpo is a sackable offence, said Matty Gorman. Please just take Salah off, said a man with no name. Please just take Salah off. I mean, look, just do something at this point, yeah. Just do something to try to change the game up. Paro said, sorry to say this, Craig, I'm going to start supporting QPR. Crack on, mate, crack on. You know, I'm here through thick and thin, you know. Nothing's going to stop me watching the Reds, but it's not as enjoyable as it should be. Salah. Do, by the way, keep hitting that subscribe button, folks. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We'll have our match reaction coming up straight after the game, player ratings video as well. And tonight we'll have a late night agenda. Unless we pull a win out of the bag, though, I can already guess how frustrated people are rightly going to be for our show this evening. Nico Williams. Again, Forest playing with confidence. Ball back to the goalkeeper. Murillo to Williams. Forest working back inside. Nico Williams still in possession. He turns back. Switches it up now. Goes over the head of Kirkes into the far side of the pitch. That's shocking. That is shocking from Bakwa. Really should have brought that down. We got let off there. Rio coming on for Liverpool, but Forest about to make a double change again. Chiesa and Rio coming on now. TC Peruzzi said, hope you're doing well, mate. Why do you think the gaffer doesn't want to play Rio, as we can all see his potential? Well, he's coming on as we speak right there now, my friend. But I don't know why it took 76 minutes to realise that we need something different up top. But let's see who his subs actually are, who he takes off. You know, will it be Salah? Will it be Gakpo? I have a feeling it'll be Ekitike. Rough, my own guess here. Let's see. No, it's Salah. Salah coming off to be replaced by Rio Ngamoa. Salah doesn't look best pleased as he has a bit of a smile on his face coming off, but I mean, he can't be surprised by it. Nine games without a goal in the Premier League for Salah. Gakpo off as well, so both the wide players changed. So it was a straight swap. 2 wide players for 2 wide players. So yeah, Gakpo for Chiesa and Rio Ngamoa for Salah. John Edinger said, my channel flipping now straight on hockey. 1-1 going to overtime. Thanks for keeping me up to date, Craig. My pleasure, John. My pleasure. Salah again, still smiling, smirking on the bench. That does my fucking head in. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing to be smiling about, Mo. Nothing. Whether it's a sarcastic smile or whatever, there is absolutely nothing to be smiling about. Nor can you be sarcastically smiling for getting taken off because, you know, I don't think anyone's surprised the 2 wide players were taken off. They've offered us fucking nothing in this game. I've got to say, I don't like that smirking, folks. I don't. Adam Thank you so much for being with us, Adam, for 14 months. Adam said, Slot said, go Mo, go, and he just walks. Says it all. Maka got clattered into there. He's gone down holding his right leg just above his shin. I hope he's okay. Kind of lower knee, top of the shin here. Oof. It's backward again. He's just been messy since he's come on. Kind of studs. Rakes down the leg. I know everything looks worse in slow motion, but that was not a great challenge. It was fairly fucking high as well. Maka's back up to his feet. Did he book him for that? Surely he's at least booked him. Has he not booked him? Ah, here, fuck off. How is he? Is he not booked him there? Have I missed the yellow? Free kick to Liverpool anyway. 100% sarcastic from Mo there, said Brian Smith. Yeah, I don't like it, Brian. I don't like it, mate. I don't like it one bit. Free kicks cleared away by Forest. Was that not even a yellow? Like, I assumed for a minute I'd missed the yellow card there, but I've not seen a graphic on the screen either. Has he really not even booked him for that challenge? Ah, here. Fuck off, Taylor, you clown. That's shocking. That is shocking. I was thinking, is that going to go to VAR for apparently for a red? And he didn't even book. That's shocking, man. That is shocking. Anyway, we're back underway. We're back defending. 10 minutes to go at the City Ground. Forest on the attack, cross in. Double ricochet, thankfully for us, and it goes behind for a goal kick. So Sunderland have pulled one back at home. Another penalty in that one. It's now 2-1 to Fulham. Lafay penalty. Throw into Liverpool down by our own corner flag deep inside our own half. 9 minutes to go. What has been another horrendous performance. Just find a moment, lads. Just find a moment to win this fucking game. Itachi said, joining in late, how are we doing? No goal is poor. Honestly, we've had one sort of decent chance which Jones probably should have scored, but outside of that, it's just been another horrendous performance, bro. Ali flings it out left side to Kirkes. He's fouled. Referee says free kick Liverpool about 10 yards inside their own half. Brian Smith said Mo needs to go. He thinks he's above subbing. This is dangerous mentality to have at the club. I agree. I really, really don't like his little smirk after the substitution. Like he's above being substituted. He may feel he wasn't the worst player out there on the pitch, which, you know, fair enough, but I've no arguments with the manager changing up to two wide players. None whatsoever. He has to do something, and let's see if the two wide players can make a difference. Chiesa on the ball now. To Jones. Back to Ibu. To Chiesa. He's challenged. Throw in Liverpool halfway inside the Forest half. If we get out of this with even a point, it's oh, here comes Robbo, by the way. If we get out of this with a point, it's just because Forest can't shoot. So Gomez coming on for Jones and Robbo going to come on, I guess, for Kirkes. So he's changing both wide side, well, the width on both sides. Yep, Kirkes off for Robbo. So fullbacks and wingers changed on both sides. with 7 to go. We don't have space to pass and go. What the fuck? That's absolute bollocks. Sorry, mate, you're talking nonsense. There's been loads of space out in that pitch today. Loads. Our transitions have been non-existent. And this nonsense saying there's no room to pass and move, that's just simply incorrect. Forest have given lots of space out there today. We just can't pass and move. Right, here comes a throw in for Liverpool, which looks like it's going to be a long one from Joe Gomez. Fires it in. Virgil flicks it up. Ortega comes and punches it, and then Nico Williams finishes the clearance. A couple of Forest players down inside their own 18-yard box. Leona said, mind you, we've had time to prepare for this game. 8 days, Leona, 8 days. And the really frustrating thing is, like, Forest were in Turkey on Thursday night playing in the Europa League playoff. And we look like we're the ones who were leggy. Robbo. Virgil heads it on. Milinkovic gets a touch. Sangar hooks the ball up in the air. Gibbs White heads it out. Don't know what's worse. Top 5 slot stays or no top 5, but at least he goes. I don't think it is top 5 and he stays. Personally, I don't. I think top 5 gets a Champions League and that's a relief for us and I'm sure the owners. But I don't think on its own that is anywhere near enough to keep him in his job. Because nobody is going to talk about this as a good Liverpool performance. Liverpool are going to be rightly criticised for this because it's been unacceptable. Again. Arna Slot, la 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 la, said Zoidberg. Yeah, well, you keep singing, mate. And look, I was the very first one on there singing those songs, mate. When he came in, trying to get people behind him. Oh, Sangar drags a shot wide there, and I thought it was in for a minute. Look, but you continue behind the manager and keep supporting him if you want. That is your prerogative. I just don't have any more positives in me for him, in all honesty. Four minutes plus stoppage time to go at the City ground. Still scoreless. Liverpool go long looking for Ekitike. We have not been able to get him involved in the game today at all, Hugo Ekitike. Sangar, ball played in behind to Aina. Aina puts in a cross. Gomez puts it behind for a Forest corner. Well done, Joe. Couldn't take any chances. Had a player over his shoulder as well. Had a little glance there, Joe, and knew he couldn't take any chances, so puts it behind for a corner. Right, let's defend it, boys. Come on. Ball in. Ali comes and gets a fist on it. Rio now. His touch is heavy, allows the Forest player to get back in and win it back. Fuck's sake. Be another Forest corner. Klopp had a presence of 6'5", and you don't know, no effort he put in your play. Slot's too quiet and thoughtful. So we just replaced both our fullbacks and wingers. Yep, that's pretty much what he's done. Replaced the wide positions on both sides. Forest corner here again now. Ball delivered in. Pushed back. Strike. Blocked, thankfully, from Rio. Second ball. Cleared away again by Rio Ngamoa. Forest have a player back there covering. Goes back to Ortega. Ortega now launches the ball out left-hand side. Gomez wins that. Plays it to Rio Ngamoa. Rio back to Joe Gomez. He's challenged. Ball goes out. Throw in to Forest. Excuse me, throw into Liverpool. My apologies. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Halfway inside the Forest half. Come on, anything. A late moment. Just justify the shit performance with a win somehow. Come on, boys. Throw in from Joe. Headed away from their 6-yard box. Second ball from Dom back to Joe. To Dom. Back to Joe. Joe puts in a left-footed cross. It's a terrible one. Doesn't beat the first man. But Canade wins it back. Well done, Ibu. To Rio Engamoa now. Rio gets to the byline. Stands up across. Ekati. Oh my God. How the fuck? 1-0. Goal. Haha. Yes. Maka gets in. 1-0. Come on. Come on. Gets in. I think it goes down as an own goal. Ball goes in and Ekatike has a header he should bury. He misses it. Keeper saves it. Ball comes back out. Maka kicks it off a Forest player and goes into the goal. And Liverpool are going to rob 3 points. Come on. Rio gets, look at this. Look at this, simple. Gets to the byline and puts in a fucking cross. Ekatike's header and then Aina plays it off Maka. And it's in. It's a Maka goal. It's a good save from Ortega. Then Aina tries to hook it over his shoulder. But Maka's there. And he plays it straight off Maka over the keeper's head and it's into the net. And it's all from a wide player getting to the byline and putting in a cross. Shock horror. Not surprising, we play like Slot's personality, said Joey. You don't play in the sunshine. You don't play in the moonlight. You don't play in the good times. Play on the boogie. Look, I told you guys all the way through, I don't care how bad we play. What's this VAR shit? What? What's this VAR shit? Oh, they're trying to say it was a handball. Oh, fuck off. There's a VAR check for potential handball. Oh, Tierney, fuck off. Don't. There's a VAR check. This getting ruled out. It's ruled out. No goal. Tierney, you fucking little scumbag. This is what I'm talking about, the bullshit handball rule. How many times do you hear me talking about the handball rule? You don't get a penalty for that, but a goal gets ruled out for that. That's fucking disgusting. So you don't get a penalty for those type of handballs, but a goal gets ruled out because of it. Because it comes off his back and his arm at the same time. Oh, you absolute cretin little scumbags. Get them cracks papered over a Slot. Look, the handball rule, we know it's a farce. You're not getting a penalty for that. And I've said this for years. I've said it for years now. The handball rule in football is a joke. You're never getting a penalty for that type of incident, but goals get ruled out because of it. There's two different handball rules in the laws, but whatever. We didn't deserve the goal. You know, we can argue over whether it's a goal or not, but our performance didn't deserve the win. But I would have happily fucking taken it. Now we've a corner to defend. I am sick of Tierney and VAR, lads. I swear to God, the handball rule's a disgrace. Goal kick. I don't know what the stoppage time is, by the way, during all of this. I haven't seen the board for the stoppage time. Look, I know people are going to come into the chat, say it's a handball, Liverpool, la la la, laugh at it. I know all that. I've been around long enough to see it, and people can do what they want in the comments. But, again, common sense. You don't get a penalty for that if it's a defender doing it. But when the attacker does it, immediately handball, no goal. So you can laugh and you can mock all you want. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But again, football, once again, is looking like a joke. It's looking like a laughing stock of a sport. Paul Tierney and VAR doesn't surprise me at all, said the Emir. Doesn't surprise me either, bro. It doesn't. But I'm just, this handball rule has been something I've been banging on about for a long, long time. Has been a double rule. One rule for a defender, one rule for an attacker. And even at that, are we not saying that's a subjective decision? Because remember what VAR is supposed to be there for. A clear and obvious error. Now, here's my thing, right? Should the referee there not have been asked to look at that himself? To make up his mind? Because I think it's a subjective decision personally. But I've not seen a board with the stoppage time go up, so I've no idea what the stoppage time is. I see a couple of people asking. Rio needs to be a starter. Feels like Gakpo only starts because he's Dutch. What's Maka to do? His arm is tucked into his side. That's what I'm saying. It's one of these, one rule for a defender, one rule for an attacker. And it's not written in the laws of the game. They just interpret it that way, the PGMOL. So people are saying 7 minutes was the stoppage time. So just to confirm, 7 minutes. I don't understand why that the ref wasn't asked to look at it himself and make his own mind up. You know, people can... I'm sure there'll be some bullshit way for Dermot Gallagher to explain how it was a factual decision, blah, blah, but I don't agree it was a factual decision. I think it was a subjective decision. Nor do I think there was clear and obvious error to overturn the goal. I don't. But again, as somebody said, it's Tierney. I'm not surprised. John said USA 2-1. 100% agree on that argument on handball. I mean, look, people are laughing us over it, but I've said it for a long time on the channel. It's the handball rule in football is a joke. Soboslai. Cross in deep. Now it's a goal! Now it's Maka! Now it's 1-0! Now it's over! Woo! Take that, you cheating fucks! Woo! Whoop whoop! 1-0. Gets in! Whoop whoop! Yes, gets in! Gets in, boys! Get in! Maka wouldn't be denied twice. We love it. Go on, Maka! Go on, boys! Surely there's no offside in that. Ekatike doesn't touch the ball. Virgil's in behind him. Surely there's no offside in that. Oh, there's VAR again. Oh, fuck off. VAR again. This is an offside, so I'll understand this one if it's off. Look, this is offside. I've got no issues if it's offside. If it's offside, it's offside. I can live with that as much as it'll be a heartbreaker. He looks offside, to be fair. He looks offside. Goal. Goal stands. Goal. 1-0. Gets in. Goal stands. Gets in. He looked off the influence. Goal stands though. Given. 1-0. Yeah. There you can see he's onside. Semi-automated system. The foot behind Virgil. Plays him onside. Gets in. Take that. We'll take that. Goal given. Absolutely take that. And one of them for all the Forest fans that were giving banter in the stands to all the Liverpool fans when the bullshit goal was ruled out initially. Take that. Enjoy that. Hold that now. Hold that. Hold that. Woo! Hold it. Gets in. And it's all over. Liverpool beat Forest by 1-0. Whoop whoop. We'll take it. It wasn't a great performance. It wasn't a great performance, but I told you, it's about getting the win, and I'll take the win. Liverpool just about find their way over the line with an ugly, disgusting, horrendous win. But it's a win, and I'll take it. 3 points is 3 points. Alexis McAllister would not be denied. His first one was ruled out. Moments later, he goes up and grabs his second, and this time the VAR decision goes in our favour. He's judged to be onside, and Liverpool leave the City ground with 3 points. Gets in. Do hit that subscribe button for me before you go, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a massive push out there. We'll join you for the match reaction as well, coming up in about 60 seconds. But we'll take that. We will take that. Let's go, WFM. Good to see you, Craig. Said D Sparky. Thank you, bro. Tierney in there absolutely bawling in floods of tears that he couldn't rule that one out now. Take that, Tierney, a cheating twat. Whoop, whoop. 1-0. Gets in. Alexis McAllister. Right, folks, we'll be back 60 seconds for the match reaction. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back to take you through our thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the game. But most importantly, the most important thing here is Liverpool leaves the City ground with the 3 points. Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. Suck on that.